Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Trekking Across the Universe here on the NDB Media Network. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Valerie. Already some comments going, yes, indeed. I finally have the episode name as we get started, but of course, I am Lord Roger. That is Lord Michael, and we are going and blowing already. And Valerie, thank you for the for tonight's episode. For the House of Dragon, Game of Thrones, of course, episode 8, Lord of the Tides. Wow. Before I go through the review, Michael, any thoughts before?
They had another time jump.
Yeah.
I was shocked the king was still around. I mean, it was like he was in such bad shape last time we saw him, and he was still there. And I went, whoa.
I was expecting I thought the king would probably go almost at the very end, and that might have been the cliffhanger. I don't know. But I was expecting that to happen that way. Good evening, Lord Jesse. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing real well. Thank you. We just started our intros right now. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, Lord Jesse is now joining us. And we already have a first comment. Valerie says, oh my God, this episode really pulled my heartstrings. Just before you arrived, Michael, I went to Michael for some thoughts. And, well, go ahead, Michael. Would you repeat it again?
Yeah, I just said I was actually shocked the king was still alive at the beginning of this episode because he was in such bad shape the last time that we'd seen him. So,
and Jesse, I was going to comment that maybe in the simple ways of thinking, I thought we would see the king die. That could have been the cliffhanger right there, where the king dies and then we're up in arms. But I'm not going to get into that. Are you surprised the king was still alive? I was not, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, I knew we were going to see him die at some point. I figured he was going to die by the end of the episode. He's I mean, half his face is gone and he's still alive. I wouldn't be shocked if they bring this guy back next season. If it's just him, just death rows or something like that. But it's been wild. I can't believe it. But yeah, I was surprised at this whole episode. I thought it was going to be a lot more. I don't know. I thought there was going to be some bigger surprises than just that dude getting his head chopped off. I just think back to the original, the main series, and that last episode was, oh my God, that was crazy. It was such a flip-flop. You think he's going to die, then he's not going to die, then he dies. Ned Stark.
Yeah.
And then all this hell breaks loose. This is it feels like this was a really long trailer for the episode that should be the last one of the season.
Okay. Oh, I like that. I was, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jesse, I'm just going to add to that. As Michael mentioned, there was a 6-year time jump, at least, that we can assume. So these kids are all much older. There's a review on the internet or a comment on the internet that says, man, these kids suck. There was a lot going on with that right there. And, you know what, Lord Michael, I need you to take over real quick. I have to get rid of one of my little cats, otherwise it's
I heard the cat.
Yes. I just said it. It's a wild cat, both figuratively, literally. I gotta take it out. Yeah, so you guys hear something. I am human. Shut up. Shut up.
Well, the cat probably has something to say about the episode.
Well, for me, I fed you. Come on.
I would say so.
You gotta go. Go outside.
So,
all right, Lord Michael, thumbs up or thumbs down? What did you think? Did you like it?
I liked it. I mean, that death scene was just so moving.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Hey, what the hell?
Yeah, as you said, half his face was gone.
Yeah.
Hope, if you haven't watched the episode, you shouldn't be here.
Oh, listen, like this is the after show. Like, there's gonna be spoilers all over the place. If they're on, they gotta know.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
gotta
I
know
mean, if you know,
spoilers coming.
if you don't mind hearing spoilers, stay with us. But we would love to have you. But please don't. If you don't want to hear a spoiler, don't do it. But
The biggest spoiler of them all. How about Bran teleporting back? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. Yeah, or
theoretically, I mean, could.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Or Ed Stark comes in through a time warp, So.
I'm sorry if you guys heard that. I apologize. I got mobbed by other cats that came in from the outside. They were able to smell the food, so I apologize. What were you guys talking about? Because we have some comments right here.
Well, yeah, and she hasn't finished the episode yet. So we were saying that exactly. We were saying she probably shouldn't be here unless she wants spoilers, because it's going to happen. So
yeah, she has 2 cats. I'm up to the part of the guy getting his head sliced. Okay, I don't mind spoilers. I support the page by being here, and I thank you, Hope, for that. There is no doubt, and of course for Valerie. So I guess just getting to it very quickly. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting the train of thought, but it was a 6-year. Corlys has been injured in the battle. I guess another in the steppes, and you guys know where the steppes are, right? It's in the sea. It is right in between Westeros and Essos, near the very south. I'm going to see if I can get a map posted right here so you can guys have an idea of where this is going on. And I know these are the steps down here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's these islands. I actually thought they were over on this side, but what do I know of geography? But these are the steps. This is where it's going on. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see that. Everyone in the audience.
So Corlys, he's been missing for 6 years. He's been missing the whole time, and he got his face flashed and then disappeared. Nobody knows where he is.
I guess that's the thing, but I was a bit confused by that myself. I thought that first he had been missing, but then they imply he's been injured and the sea snake is strong. And
then he said something about falling in the sea, I thought I heard.
Yes. And he has been wounded. And later on the episode, that's what everyone is talking about. He has been wounded. So there is no proof that he's dead. And I guess in the political machinations, people are starting to say, okay, well, we got to resolve what's going on. Resolve what's going on. Even the king says it later. Well, we already know what's supposed to happen. But when the brother, and I do not have his name right now, decides to lay claim to the house, I guess that's what creates the problems, right, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you guys, or what were you guys thinking that the Hightowers were going to do? Obviously, we didn't get a chance to see what they were going to do, but there was a moment where Allison chastises Rhaenyra. I'm like, I don't know exactly where she said it, but she says, I'm going to forget the stuff you said.
Like at the dinner table?
It was before the dinner table. It was.
Oh, when they were petitioning?
Yeah, and she said it was before the petition. She said, I'm going to forget what you said today. I guess when they were with the king, Viserys, I think they were having that conversation right there. So, there was just a lot of politics going on. This was obviously a very heavy episode. There wasn't very much in the way of maybe action that we're familiar with. But instead of going over every darn little thing, what do you guys want to really talk about? Because the episode begins where the brother and the queen, who never was, they're arguing about what should happen. And he says, hey, look, my brother only cares about the history books. Okay, I care about the blood. And then we head on over. I guess it's at Dragonstone. I thought it was a King's Landing where Daemon, and I thought it was Daemon, the one that was up in the rocks. And then he finds that one of the dragons gave up another egg, but it turns out to be 3 eggs this time. So,
yeah, that was really cool. I thought, and generally, it was frustrating with a time jump again for me, just because it feels like I'm like watching, like trying to get into like a new show every week now. Like I get it, it's probably how the books are for what was the book called, like Fire and Blood or something like that. It's basically what this show is based on. And there's time jumps in it, so I guess they kind of have to do in this, but it's just happening every episode. It's a little frustrating trying to get to know who's who. But I'll tell you, when they showed Amon with his eye patch on and his psycho look on his face, I was like, wow, they picked a great actor for that kid, because he looks like he's going to be a shit disturber.
Oh yeah.
He's frightening. He looks like if Damon was completely twisted. He looks like a young Damon completely twisted.
Yeah.
Like dark side Damon, full dark side Damon.
No redeeming qualities.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm trying to go over. She mentions Rhaenyra's. I guess it's a conversation she has with him about, fire and blood. And I'm trying to find that spot. And this time, since there was a lot of jumping around, I admit, I must admit the confusion. As the king says, so do I. There was, I don't know. If Hope or Valerie have some comment. Oh, here it is. It was raining outside, and Rhaenyra visits her father. I guess this was the second time now. And she mentions the Song of Ice and Fire. Do you believe it, Father? And then I don't know if she knows whether he's responding to her or not, but she's talking about the burden is a heavy one, and it just might be too heavy. I don't know what you guys were thinking about that. Was it daughter-father moment, or was it she detached, actually admitting to us that she doesn't want to have the crown? What do you guys think was up with that?
Well,
I don't know.
I got the impression. Well, at first, I thought, yeah, that she really didn't want the crown. She had decided she didn't want the crown. But I'm not sure. I mean, but that was my first impression when I saw what was going on. Is I thought she had decided she didn't want the crown, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want the crown. Give it to somebody else." But I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Shortly after, she mentions, if you love me, defend me. You named me.
Yeah,
I
that's
need
true.
your help and my children. And then in the morning, the king wakes up somewhat early. We see more skin removal. Thank God they didn't show it, because some of that stuff, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but there was a moment where he was like hunched over and it was deliberately blurred out. It was smart the way they did that. You could see the holes in his back. Oh, the lesions were, and it was deliberately blurred. I mean, you wanted to see him, but then again, you didn't want to see them.
Yeah.
And he wakes up and basically he says, all right, like tonight, I want all of my family together at the Red Keep. We'll dine together. And you can see he's just skin and bones. It's just, there's not much left.
Yeah, what a cool character.
Yeah. Now, go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was like, I mean, aside from how horrible and decayed he looked, I thought it was really touching how he just wouldn't give up on trying to bring the family together. He's just nonstop, just trying to make it work. You know what I mean? Right to his death. I'm sad to see him go. He's a good guy.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you were there with us, and we may have talked about it when we talked about other episodes, but the injuries that he has suffered, it is the whole thing of being king is just pulling him apart, figuratively and literally. Oh, I hate saying literally, but it is. It's just tearing him apart. And he's talking about trying to keep the family together. And he says, you are family, if not for the throne. But that's already near at the very end. That's when they're actually at the dinner. And in my notes, I entitled it The Final Supper. I had the feeling that this was his last one.
Yeah.
Now, prior to that, the queen is off to the side, and Lord Hightower is actually sitting on the throne, and he's here to deal with the succession of Driftmark, and the petitions begin. And of course, Corlys' brother makes his bid, and Rhaenyra interrupts him. And then the queen says, all right. You'll have your chance. Don't be rude. And he continues, and then that was it. Rhaenyra, I believe she began, right?
Yeah,
and
she
that's
began.
when her dad walked in.
Yeah.
Were you guys surprised by that? I was.
I was, yeah.
I wasn't overly, because in this show, it seems like right when someone's about to speak, especially in the throne room, someone always interrupts them. I don't know if you noticed that, but literally every episode where someone's speaking in that room, the doors swing open, and it's either Rhaenyra, Alicent, the king. Somebody's interrupting somebody's speech. Check it out. Every single episode. And then they do the whole big grand entry, and somebody announces that they're there, and someone's pissed off because they're in the middle of their speech. But I thought this was really cool because, I mean, obviously nobody expected to see the king, and he's on his deathbed, and he's crawling to the throne the whole way. It was so heroic. It was shot so well, and that actor, Patty, I forget his last name, but man, was he excellent in this episode. I believe everything he was doing.
I'm sorry, Jesse.
No, it's okay.
I had no idea he was from Peaky Blinders. I think the other HBO series.
Peaky Blinders?
Peaky Blinders, yes.
He's in that. Who's he playing in that? Oh,
we're gonna have to look that one
I'll
up.
look it up.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he was in there. Folks, we actually have quite a few people watching us. We're going to take a quick moment to acknowledge that is Lord Michael, that is Lord Jesse, and of course, I'm Lord Roger. We're having a conversation right now on the latest episode of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Episode 8, Lord of the Tides. Let us know who you are and where you hail from. As I say, we've got quite a few people watching us. If you don't mind, give us a like, give us a follow. We need it. We're growing the channel, and it means a great deal to us. It's funny, the minute I say that, then the numbers drop. It's like, come on, just hit follow.
They get scared.
Yeah, or just hit like. But Hope, thank you. I think Hope, we know she's in New Orleans or Louisiana, I believe. Valerie, what part of the world are you in right now? So maybe you should share that with us. And everyone else, folks, let us know who you are, where you hail from. But all right.
Okay, in Peaky Blinders, he played. Oh, I just had it, and of course I just lost it. You know how
that's all right.
I got you. I'll find this.
I should have remembered that one, Valerie. You did say that. Thank you, Valerie. New Mexico.
Father John Hughes.
Father John Hughes?
Okay. Yes, in 4 episodes.
The Land of Enchantment. Thank you, Valerie, New Mexico. I should have remembered. You did say that before. Thank you. If any of you wish to join us live, let us know, and we'll send you the link, and you can just, all you need, don't even need video. Jesse's like, what do you mean? You don't even need video. You can do it with your phone as long as we have audio, but obviously if we have video, it makes it a lot better. So you are able to join us. So just let me know. From the Land of Enchantment to Westeros, we continue today. Of course, Lord Michael, Lord Royer, and Lord Jesse. Thank you, sir. All right. He says, I will sit on the throne today. And Hightower graciously acknowledges, of course, your grace. And at the very end, Daemon. That was very powerful. Daemon helped him. At first, the king jerked around like, who in that? Oh, yeah, okay, it's you. I'll go with that. He genuinely did help him. And I'm not sure if you guys got that earlier, but when they first arrived and they were in the bedchamber with him, when they gave him something to drink, did you notice Daemon was really investigating it?
Yeah.
What was that about? It was kind of fun. Yeah, he was like, what's going on? And I thought he was gonna down it, but
I wonder if it's them signifying that maybe Daemon knows that he's being poisoned and that's why he's sick. He's got to be. It's got to come out. I can't believe they didn't like drop a bomb on us like that at the end of this. It just he just went like, I thought that. Where's the big cliffhanger? I guess it kind of is a cliffhanger. You're like, what's gonna happen now? He's dead.
Well, yeah. I actually thought that he was gonna go during the episode, but he didn't. So, what does he say? Oh yeah, Corliss's brother says, "You will not make the decisions on my house," which is completely contravening what the king says. He says, "I thought this was a matter that was already issued," but then of course he goes off and he says, "Look, you know, the only blood is Valerian blood." And then he turns to Rhaenyra and he says something to the effect of, "Do you even know what Valerian blood is? Would you like me to cut, my blood and show you what it is? Because you don't know what it is." Wow. And he was still, the king was not answering that play. And then finally, I guess he realizes he's going to lose his petition. It's done. And in the other episodes, he speaks the truth. I guess he speaks the truth here, and he knows if he's going to fall on the sword, he's going to do it by his own hand. He turns around, and Jesse, were you surprised that he went ahead and mouthed it?
Well, yeah, like I thought he was going to lose his tongue, but like as soon as I saw his head split open, I'm like, of course. And then I knew it was Daemon right away.
Oh, you did? I did not. I was just
stunned.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Who else would have done that? Because there's like rules and protocols, right? Like, and Daemon never gives a shit about that stuff. He's like, I will literally do whatever I want. But it's like he comes from like a place of like extreme. Like he's handing out the law, sure, and that guy deserved to get punished, but like in like the most brutal way. Like in the first, was it the first episode or the second episode when he's the head of the King's Guard and he goes out into rounds up all of like the pedophiles, the rapists, the robbers, everybody, and just starts handing out crazy punishment. But I mean, they're deserved, but he's like so over the top in what he does. There's he's got a barrel of body parts. He's like,
oh yeah. I think that was the first episode.
Yeah.
Michael,
good way to start.
Valerie, thank you, Valerie. Yes, it was. It was a clean cut. And for those that were paying attention, did you notice that there was a clean cut? And when the head fell, did you notice the tongue was
done? Oh, the tongue hanging out? Yeah.
Yes. I was like, oh man. He says, well, no need to take his tongue. Or I'm not sure what he said, but I think he said something to the effect of, well, no need to take his tongue, or he can keep his tongue.
He said he can keep his tongue.
Yeah. Michael, were you surprised by that?
I was, but then when I thought about it, I remember seeing Daemon behind him. So I go, that makes total sense,
Oh, you guys caught that. I did not see him. And I was like, oh, there goes the head. And then he was right there. I was like, yeah, okay.
Of course. Who else? Okay, let's brainstorm this. If it wasn't Daemon, who else would have done it in that room?
It would not have been Sir Christian.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody.
It's interesting how when he yelled it out, he says, they're bastards. The king didn't even bother to react. Didn't even. It's like he's past it. It's done. It is what it is. The alleged father is dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, it was crazy. Now, that was also the second time that Daemon is ordered to drop his weapon. I think it was either the first or second episode after he wins in the, he takes out
the jousting or whatever you want to call that. Is that what you're talking about?
No, over in the steps when he wins, he comes back and he's made to give up his arm. And then when he's kicked out, I think they say, give up your sword. And now again, the minute he chopped this guy's head off, the King's Guard runs to him and says, disarm yourself. The guy has to use his sword often.
I love his reaction too to it when he was kind of like, oh, he's being funny about it. He's like, putting it away.
There was some subtlety to Daemon in this episode, yes.
Yeah, I love that guy. What's that actor's name? Matt something. Man,
Matt
he's good. No, that's not Matt Damon.
No, it's
not Matt. I'm kidding. No. Matt Smith.
Matt Smith. Yeah,
Matt Smith.
He played the Doctor in Doctor Who before, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
completely different. And it was cool that later on in the Last Supper, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, where I guess the uncles and the nephews were fighting because it's the way it works. Mm-hmm. Damon's just laughing. And when he stands between the nephews and the brothers, I should, the brothers to Rhaenyra, the sons of the king.
Yeah.
He stands between them, and the face he's got, man, it's just like he knows the kids are having it out. He's probably did the same thing when he was younger, and he just stood between them. He didn't even lift arms. I think he did the smart thing, because the one who lost his eye wasn't about to take on his uncle. No way. I think his uncle would have beat his ass.
I think it's gonna happen. I think that was a foreshadow to like what's gonna happen. I think they're gonna have a go at it.
Ooh. Okay.
Because there was like even the camera like stalled and showed them like facing off against each other, and like Aemon was like a little bit bigger, at least he looked like it, but he was definitely more terrified of Daemon. And Daemon just stood there like, okay, well, if you want to. You literally just saw me chop someone's head off a second ago, but
yeah. How is it? What does Clint Eastwood say? You feeling lucky, punk?
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of a Clint Eastwood kind of character, yeah.
At least at that moment. But he did the right thing to separate them. That's what uncles do when the kids are having it out.
Now, how would you have reacted if he would have chopped one of their heads off right there? Just continued it. Like, I mean, at this point, we just don't know what to expect from the guy.
Oh, that would have been instant war.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. Daemon proved it in the second or third episode. Remember where he's back at Dragonstone? He's claimed it, and Rhaenyra shows up, and he gives in. I know it was her, but he was screwing with the king. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a prankster. He's a jokester.
Yes. But he has defended his brother. There's no doubt. But,
he does care about his family. He does.
Yes. He has an odd way of showing it, but yes, he does.
I feel like he's going to show, though, like, even if a relative, I think if somebody crosses him in an extreme way, I think he's just so quick in dealing out the punishment, which is death. I think we're going to see that. I think he's going to kill a Targaryen soon, and then, next season. I bet as soon as he does it, it'll be so quick and out of nowhere.
I was surprised. Oh, well, maybe not. Oh, I was about to tell you, gentlemen and ladies in the chat room, that I was surprised that no one was talking crap about them, about Daemon and Rhaenyra and their marriage, because it's uncle and niece. I know it's been 6 years, but it just dawned on me they were. Because when Rhaenyra's kids were in the court, everyone was staring them down. What were your thoughts about that, Michael? Why were they doing that? Why was everyone in the courtyard?
Hasn't it been a while that they had been at court?
It's been 6 years.
Yeah.
If we believe it, yes. So do you think it was just that?
Well, I just think rumors and everything else that they probably have heard, and so they were just staring at him.
So maybe that was what I was about to ask you guys, or make a statement that I didn't see anyone like belittle. That might have been it. Lord Jesse, what did you think? Or what do you think on that?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't notice it, but I'm sure there was definitely some of that. I mean, it's been 6 years. They haven't seen them. They got married the same day that everybody thinks that they killed what's his face? Her ex-husband.
Laenor, yeah.
Yeah, everybody thinks he's dead, and he's not. But that's, of course, there's going to be a little bit of that staring down and all that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's very early in the episode. It's right after Alicent meets Rhaenyra and Daemon, where Rhaenyra's kids are going down, and he says, everyone is staring at us. And then the other brothers, doesn't matter what they think.
Yeah.
And then that's where Corlys' brother arrives. But that was early in the episode. That was before Corlys' grandkids acknowledge their grandmother, and they say grandmother. And they talk very briefly about Laenor. And then what's-her-face did mention that I did love Laenor. Did she really? Because they had an agreement.
I don't think so.
No, she did want to kill him. She lied through her teeth. She planned out. She ordered his death. Last episode.
Yeah, she says.
Daemon was like, the only way that we can be together is if Laenor dies. And then next thing you know.
Yeah. She says, "You may not believe it, but I loved your son." And then that's where she says, "But hey, look, how about this? You know, let's, marry off the kids and do whatever." And then she says, "It's a generous offer or a desperate one." And then she says, "It does not matter if it's a good offer." And she goes off not knowing if she accepts the offer. And she actually did when the petition was completed.
Mhm.
I was surprised. But had Corliss been there, what would he have done? Okay, well, you know what? Oh, okay. This is a woulda, coulda, shoulda inside of the episode. Oh, this sucks. Would we have even had that offer had Corliss not been wounded right now? Do you think? I guess not, huh? Because of his wounding.
It's not just that he's wounded; he's been missing, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because I wasn't able to get that 100% myself.
The wounding makes it just that he's most likely dead is what everybody thinks, but still he's been missing for 6 years. No one's had any word.
Yeah,
they haven't been able to find him. So yeah, everyone wants the throne. That's kind of the Game of Thrones sort of that's the world that they live in, right? Every time somebody goes, if there's ever like a void and someone's not there to sit on their throne, everybody wants it. Everybody wants it, and you got to contest for it.
I was just surprised that the realm was actually discussing this because that's a family house. I thought the family would take care of their own stuff, but this entered the council, which Allison, which I know you gentlemen noticed, Allison was running the council.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
And there was no doubt as to who was in charge.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. It just again, we'll never know how effective she is, but if there's been 6 years of peace, I guess she has been effective. So yes, Valerie, thank you for that. Yeah, you know what? She did. Because they had a deal, they had a pact, and he saw it through. And just at the very end of the episode, when everything happened in the last episode, Lenore said, I want to, it's family. I have to do what I need to do. And she's like, no. I actually thought she was going to straight up kill him because she had just spoken to Damon. I was like, you have to go do away with him. I thought that was so ironic and mean. And she's like, oh, man, we got to get rid of him. And now he's like, I'm sorry, Raiders, I failed you this, but it's all about family. I will be the man that I never was. The look of horror on her face. But they obviously had a conversation and they settled up, which was really good. So the Last Supper. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I was just saying, yeah, I agree.
In the Last Supper, he says, how good it is to see you all tonight. The upcoming marriage will strengthen both houses, and faces so dear to me, yet faces have grown so distant as the years have passed. My face is no longer a handsome one, if it ever was. Tonight you see me, one who will not long walk among you. So it wasn't even a foreshadowing. It wasn't even a foretelling. It was like, boys, they wrote me out of the episode.
Yeah.
Just kidding. A lot was said. And he continues and he says, settle your grievances. You are family. If not for the crown or the realm. I think he says for the realm. For the family. And if not, settle your grievances for this old man who loves you dearly. He's blinded by that. The love for his family. And it struck me. It was a major moment. I could appreciate that no matter what. He touches on the fact that they're far apart. He doesn't give the reasons why, but he states the obvious and he ignores it. Kind of like he ignores the issue with the bastard children of Rhaenyra. That, I think, is his genuine fault, is he loves his family. I don't know. Jesse?
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely like in a world that's as harsh and cruel as the Game of Thrones world. If you have good values and you're a family man and you generally want to do good, you are seen as weak people will take advantage of you, and you'll usually get killed off.
Yeah.
But I like
Oh.
this character. I think he's like it's so rare to see somebody that's genuinely good in this series. Like everyone's got some dark shit about them, but it doesn't really seem like he does. He's got morals and good values to a fault.
His sister does as well. I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's Rhaenyra. Rhaenys. Okay, thank you. It's similar. Rhaenys showed us in the last episode. She says, "I'm done with this. You're Corlys. You're the one that still won't let it go." And in this episode 8, we saw the continuance of that the throne doesn't mean for her what it did 20, 30 years ago. She wants family because she has paid the price. She has lost children. And, it's horrible. She suffers the grief of mother.
Mm-hmm.
And in this episode, she proves that she doesn't want the throne because, remember, Corlys' brother says, "Oh, you're going to petition for you to sit on Edric Mark." And she stays quiet. So she was going to do it. Did you guys think that was going to be her petition?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I did.
I did too, but she didn't need to do it at the end because
well, the savior came through to her, Rhaenyra, who offered her that deal, and she sniped at her, but she didn't answer her, and of course we already said that, and then she accepted it. She announced it right after the king was like, "Hey, family's marrying family. Hot damn." There will be peace in the realm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I thought it was very well done by the king, but then he was overcome and he had to be taken away. And if you guys noticed, there was 3-4 minutes of fleeting peace. And then were you guys shocked of what Rhaenyra said?
What did Rhaenyra say again?
She toasted Alicent and she said, "I toast the queen that no matter what, she has been devoted with love and honor to my father. There's no doubt about that."
Oh yeah.
And I think she says something as well, "My apology." I didn't get the note on that because it was moving fast and I was running out of time. But she acknowledged that. And Alicent was surprised. And Alicent then returned by saying, "We are both mothers and we love our children." I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked. They were moved by the father and the husband, respectively, King Viserys. And I think that's the closest of where we're going to get to peace between the two, huh? This is the high watermark of peace between them.
I think so. You can never tell, but yeah, I think that shit's about to go down. Well, I mean, it does. They're gonna battle at some point here. I'm glad that I didn't read the book because
oh, me too.
Then you'd know what's gonna happen already, right?
Well, stay away from the internet. And I commented about this in episode 1. Apparently, we know how this ends.
Yeah, it's all written.
Yeah, it was
written,
mentioned.
Right? It was was it one book or was it a series of couple books?
It was mentioned in Game of Thrones. I don't know if it was in episode 6, season 4, or season 6, episode 4. It was something like that. It was mentioned.
I think I saw somebody post something about that on YouTube, but I didn't watch it. I was like, nah.
Good. Ignore it because I saw it and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm out.
And they could change it too, right? I mean, just
they have.
The doesn't mean they don't have to. They've changed things in the original series. They did things that were totally not in the book that were completely different.
And they changed characters around too.
Because I think somewhere around the 5th season, they mentioned that they surpassed the material that was in the books.
Yeah.
No, but even with the material in the book, there were things
changed
that they changed. Like for instance, Lady Stark, she came back as a ghost, and in the books, and that never happened.
Oh, really?
They just left her dead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that. That was cool. Good evening, Lord Dick. How are you doing? Yeah, you're live. Oh, maybe he cannot hear us.
He can't hear. He's not hooked up.
Yeah. Are you able to hear us, Lord Dick?
Okay.
Oh, no, he can't. Wow.
He can't.
Okay. All right. He'll join us in a moment. Oh, yeah, he's out. Okay. Alicent then says, "You will make a fine queen." And then,
That was a shock.
yeah. And then we switch to the brothers, the nephews, and all that. Jace cannot stand the ridiculing. I forget which one of Viserys' kids was needling him, saying, "Hey, do you know how to do it? Do you need some help?" I mean, in theory, you know what to do, right? And then he tells his cousin or his niece to be, "Hey, if you need someone to satisfy you, just go ahead and give me a call." What a bastard, man. What a bastard. Man, they were rough. And then that's, of course, where we saw what was going on. Now, actually, I think I jumped ahead a little bit. They were needling them throughout the dinner, and then the king says, or someone else says, "I hope to be friends and allies." And then finally the king says, "Let us have some music." Then the king retires. And then the daughter of Viserys gives a toast to Jace, Luke, and Joffrey. And then, then we got into that fight, which we talked about a little moment ago. So that was cool. Now, After that, did you guys get who that was? Damon's whore from the first and second or third episodes?
What?
I forget her name, but that was.
I know who you're talking about. She was in that?
Yes, right after this meal is over. I'm gonna pull. Yeah, Hope or Valerie. Do you know who I'm talking about? That was Damon's love interest.
How did she show up? What was she doing? What was the capacity?
I think she was at her whorehouse. Sorry, wherever she was, and one of the handmaidens came in to see her, and I said, "I guess a lot of stuff has been happening tonight, hasn't it?" It's like, yes. So just like Varys, she's collecting information.
Interesting. Yeah, because she left. She's not being a whore anymore. She's moved on to, like, it seems like she's like mixing, like, I don't know, like either learning some kind of secret art of something. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if they really said exactly what it was. Maybe like sorcery or, I don't know, spying, something like that.
You're right.
So it's interesting why she would be there.
Yeah, it is something else. I'm actually trying to get the book. Hey, folks, I'm not giving them play other than Hollywood Spotlight issued the Guide to the House of Dragon. I've been using this when I remember, and it has everyone in here. It has quite a bit of the history. I'm trying to get her name right now, but it's really good stuff. This is how I kept up and prepped for the episode. But I'll see if I can find who it is right now. Oh, my goodness. But we have the princess. What was her name for Damon? Damon's. Yeah, she did. Because I think Damon does see her a little bit later. And she's not doing the whorehouse stuff anymore. But she's collecting information. I don't know what her name is. Anyone in the chat room, do you remember what her name is? Oh. Lady Miseri.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Lady Miseri. She's in the episode right after the dinner. And she's collecting information. So we'll see. And I'm sure a lot of stuff was said there that's going to get out. So at the very end of the episode, the king says sorry to Alicent. He's mumbling. He says something about Aegon and his dream up in the north. I don't know exactly what it was. And he says, "You are the one." And she says, "I understand, my king." What were they talking about there? I have no idea. It was about a vision in the north and the dream. I don't know what they were talking about. And then when the tears started to flow down the side of the king, that's when I knew, okay, he's done. This is going to be it. And that's where the episode ended. Did you guys see upcoming next week?
I did, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh,
There's
But I
one more
did see it.
episode?
There's two
more.
more. There's two
Oh
more.
my god. Okay.
I know.
I don't feel so bad. Like, this is why I was pissed, because I was like, it was so informational. I thought it was gonna be a big twist. I thought this was the last episode. I thought this was the big season finale. I was like,
two more.
What? Okay, sweet. So that dude is dead next week.
Yes. You see, I thought it was going to end somewhere around.
Go down.
Yes, I thought it was going to end episode 9 or 10. But
it is episode 10. I just looked.
Yeah, so you didn't see the preview. Oh, just
okay. Well,
okay.
Put it on. Let's check it. Oh my god, I feel so much better. I was like,
hi, Lord
what
Dick.
a crap way to end.
How you doing?
Jesus.
We're doing well. I'm doing a quick search, guys. Talk about something real quick.
Okay.
House of Dragons.
Sure. The other thing.
9 trailer.
Oh yeah, that's what we need. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to have it right now. So let me set this up. Bear with me a moment. Oh yeah, I think I got it. So folks, I'm going to ask you to bear with us. Due to what's going to happen, we're going to get a copyright strike on Facebook. So you're not going to be able to. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go silent. I mean, we're live. It's just on Facebook. It's going to go dark. Here's the link. Let me post it. You guys can check it out. But I'm going to play it live for all of us in the audience now. It's just Facebook will not. If they recognize something, they'll block it out. So we're going to go. You won't hear anything for about a minute, 15 seconds. If you're listening live, you will. If it's recorded, go watch the preview. But there it is. And let me make sure I get to this. Here we go. Share screen, share audio. Okay. Here we go, guys.
The king is dead.
He told me you wish for Aegon to be king.
The door remains shut until we finish our business. None can know who you are or what you seek.
What of Rhaenyra?
I found out something you should know.
It's a seizure, and it's treason at the least.
Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne?
You didn't see that.
Okay.
Okay, you did not see that. Okay.
Okay.
Forgive me, folks. I don't know if you saw me. I cannot believe I missed this. There was a moment in the episode. Oh, and I think okay, I'm jumping out of my Aegon, the older one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He screwed around with a servant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Allison
Got her pregnant.
Yes. And that little boy in this, I think that's who that little boy is going to be in the preview.
Well, no, because they made her drink the tea unless it didn't work.
It might not have
unless
worked.
it didn't work. Yeah.
The abortion tea.
Yes, look. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to go to a still frame, back to it. Forgive me. Check this. She's the one that I was talking about, went to Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
Right after the dinner. But look, I'm going to go back to that scene. Let's see. That kid. Okay, well, it's so quick, I may not be able to see it.
Oh, it's
there, that
quick.
one. That one. I think that's going to be Aegon's kid. So I don't know what that's going to play. We're probably going to see another time jump. I don't know. But all right. Wow. There was a lot to that preview. She's going to.
Yeah, I'm excited.
She's going to shoot to be queen. Oh, okay, Lord Jesse, I get it now. You seemed a bit down on the episode, like, this is
Because
the
I thought
end.
that was
It
it.
went out
I
with
thought,
the whimper.
right? Yeah.
I get it. Now I see. No, dude, it's 2 more episodes.
So you have to come back for 2 more episodes.
Well, okay, we
Yeah,
don't want to force him, but we would love
I'll
to
come
have
back.
him back. But
For sure.
I can tell, dude. Look at your demeanor, man.
Totally changed.
I get it now.
Well, I thought it was the last episode too.
Oh,
You did? Okay.
So Jesse's not alone. As soon as it went to black, I turned it off. I said, okay, that's the trailer. I mean, that's the
That's the
cliffhanger
end.
for next season. I'm thinking, okay, the king dies. Now the shit's going to hit the fan in season 2. That was me. So Jesse, you're not alone. I mean, I don't know if it makes you feel any, I don't know if it makes you feel any better that you're on the same page as an old man, but you know.
Well, I'm an old man myself, so.
okay. Now knowing
But
that,
remember,
that
the king drank the abortion tea too. So, and then he died. So.
So we were talking about that tea. They may have killed him, and Damon may know, and he may be pocking in it. And if Allison in the future offers him a drink, he's probably homie's not going to play that. He's going to know.
Yeah.
But that was an intense episode, though. I mean, it felt like it was a season end because of all the stuff that was going on, and the king making his way to the throne. I mean, the man had balls to just, so what? He made it. I mean, with a little help from Damon, but still, he showed up and he tried to make peace.
Wow. Appreciate that, Lord Dick.
Well, I don't know what you guys have said before. Maybe you've already said that.
No, buddy, that fits. Thank you for that. I want to back up real quick. I know it's impossible what I'm about to ask you guys, but ignoring the trailer, what was your grade on the episode? I wondered, what were you going to give it, Jesse? Like,
oh my! I thought it was
a low grade.
Like,
yeah, dude. That's why this is a stupid, impossible ask. But what was your?
Well, here's the thing. With it, as soon as I hated it until the king came out and was trying to get to the throne. I thought the acting was great. I love that actor. And I thought the Last Supper scene was pretty awesome. But that was only the last 20 minutes of the episode. So before that, I was like, snooze fest. I'm just like, there's a new cast again. It's 6 years further in the future again. I'm like, what's going on now? And the kids still suck. They're weird. And yeah, then the king thing. So I probably would have. Now that I know it's not a season finale, I'd give it a B plus. Only because the end. Because the end, the last 20 minutes was an A plus. Would you give it?
A B. I gave it a B too. Yeah. And I have a running count. This is the first episode. No dragons. Now, was there a sex scene or not? Because the queen reprimanded. Oh, and I cannot believe I did not talk about it, or we may have just skipped over it. But she reprimanded the handmaiden. And there was an implication that she may have actually killed her, because in the next scene said, "Hey, where's so and so?"
That's right. They couldn't find her.
Oh,
so, okay.
To dress the children or something?
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
They did. But everybody was drinking tea, so who knows?
Which tea was it? Yeah.
Who dropped dead? I mean, it was like the Three Bears. My tea's not poison enough, but I don't know. And real quick here, with 3 seconds left, Baltimore kicked the winning field goal to beat the Bengals 19-17. Not that anybody cares. This is the wrong show, but some may care. That looks like
Lord Dick. And I.
Yeah, you would. If you picked the Ravens, I guess we're pretty happy. But anyway,
damn it.
I guess that beheading scene by Damon caught me off guard. I got kind of jumped a little bit. I didn't expect, what? Oh my, okay. And that kind of, no one asked me, but that's why I give it a B. I mean, plus the I guess the Last Supper, as we're calling it, that was too. But I just didn't expect, because he was raising a fuss, and Damon said, "Fuck this guy," and just cut his head off.
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure what Jesse's reaction was. I know Michael did jump a little bit too. I didn't.
When he got his head cut off?
Yeah, when he got his head cut
Yeah,
off.
I knew something like that was going to happen.
Okay, yeah, you were expecting
I thought they were going to go his tongue, and as soon as I saw like part of his head fly off, I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah,
well,
like,
the whole. Well, I didn't. Well, I just all of a sudden. I mean, anyway, I didn't. It seemed like that character. I guess you don't know who's going to die. Everybody died in this thing, with tea and swords, and luckily the king didn't fall over into those swords on his way to the on his way to the throne. So
Oh yeah,
a lot of danger there for the king. If Daemon doesn't grab him, who knows? But anyway, I talked enough. Michael, what do you grade it?
I was going to give it a B also, and it's just because of the end. I mean, the beheading and the death scene.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm being
stupid. I know you're just. Yeah, I know you're just going along.
But again, look, we're almost all on the same page. Last episode, we were all between an A plus and an A minus, and now we are all also consistently within a B. That's interesting. That is cool. And folks, I do apologize. I do have that scene, and let me go over it again. The servant is in trouble. I didn't get her name. She says it wasn't. Oh no, the Queen Ellison says it wasn't your fault. I believe you, but you cannot tell anyone anything. Not a word to anyone, Your Grace. And they gave her money as well as tea. So in my notes, I think they offer her the tea and say, best to be certain. And then I put plan B or plan D. Okay.
Well, I'm thinking D because that's,
okay.
And I know what you meant by that.
Yeah, and then
that's why I thought she was dead because just to make certain, have some tea. That way, you can't tell anybody anything when you're dead. So
and when you give them the money, you're mollifying them for a moment.
Right, and then when they die, you take your money back and put it back in the vault or in your brawl or whatever. But you move on.
Right after that, she goes in, whips Aegon. Well, it doesn't whip Aegon, but she yells at Aegon regarding the servant girl, and think of the shame on your wife, on me, but then he's having the moment. I was going to say millennial moment, but that's not fair. Says, I try so hard. Yes, the blue bloods tried so hard. And then it was right after that where the scene was, have you seen what's her face? She's supposed to change the stuff.
Yeah.
And in my notes, plan D. So I thought they got rid of her, but maybe not based on that little kid that I still have frozen on screen. I think I'm going to have it as a screensaver. That one.
I just thought of something that I just remembered.
The words are, I found out something you should know. Oh, that was in the voiceover. Go ahead, Michael.
No, then that changes what I was thinking.
No, go ahead.
Because Daemon, was it Daemon? Yeah. Oh, see, now I'm forgetting everybody's name. The queen who's going to be queen of the realm. Allison? I think she's pregnant. Allison. No, not Allison. No. Rhaenyra. Yeah, Rhaenyra. Yeah. I think she's pregnant again.
I'm sorry, Rhaenyra. Oh, you think she is? Because remember, she presented a new another
yes.
grandson.
However, Daemon came up to her and rubbed her tummy.
Oh,
I thought I saw that.
I didn't.
You guys
think
are
about
good.
That.
You're noticing everything.
Did you see it, Jesse, or was it just did I
didn't
make that
see
up?
That, no, I didn't. I missed it.
Wow.
Well,
I
might be wrong, but I wish someone in the chat room would confirm.
No, Valerie says yes.
Okay, I was right. Okay.
Wow, way to go! Okay. Thank you, Valerie. Yes.
Thank you, Valerie, because I thought I was crazy. So.
No.
I guess you're not.
Hey, guys, this is what makes it so cool. Number one, it's the interpretation of what each of us see. And then, look, Jesse, last week you caught a lot of stuff that I didn't catch. So I think it's just switched the other way around because you were thinking this was the last episode. And for
I
me,
was
it's
sour.
like,
I wrote stuff
you
down.
were sour.
Sour about it. I came in with a bad attitude. I was like, fuck this episode. That's how they're going to end that shit?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's funny. And then I
thought it was 8 episodes, but yeah.
No, this one's
Thank
10.
God. Thank God.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man.
No, we still have 2 more. And I'm not sure. I haven't been able to confirm this, but I just heard within the last few weeks, and I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but there's going to be a Game of Thrones series called Snow, as in Jon Snow. Okay, that one's supposedly going to start filming in 2023, but I understand there's another one in the works. Have you guys heard about this? It's about Lord Corlys.
Yeah, it was in the works. And
Yeah,
then
it got canceled.
It was the 7 Voyages of the Sea Snake.
Oh, so it's been scrapped.
Yeah, it's been scrapped, but I think that they're trying to work in the storylines from that into this. Probably why it got scrapped, because he's in it. So
there was another pilot that they filmed completely, but
that was the one. The long night, I think is what it was going to be called.
Okay.
And it was about the first men and the children of the forest and how the White Walkers began. And then they didn't do it, which was unfortunate, because I was actually looking forward to it. I thought it was a great idea.
Look, all I know is on a personal comment, and I want to get back to you right now, Lord Dick, because you've commented so little on the episode so far. I want to know what you thought.
I thought I
the
spoke
one
too
crazy
much.
thing about HBO is, guys, forgive me for saying, but this is an immense universe with a history that is unreal and is still being added to. And HBO has decided to make it their own. And we're going to see more and more of this. And I guess that's what Amazon is doing with their series, the Rings of Power, because they announced, or I read, that it's supposed to be 5 years. They paid about $350 million for the rights. And the cost of the first 2 years
is huge.
Yeah, it's what has brought them up to about $700 to $800 million for 20 episodes.
And the sad part is you can't tell they spent that kind of money.
At times you cannot. Yeah, you're right.
Well, they definitely didn't spend it on the writing, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right. We'll probably have a chance to get to that in a moment. But Richard, some more thoughts, because we did cover the episode. Anything else that you wanted to add or point out?
No, I know I came in late, so I didn't know what you all covered. So that's all I did. Like I said, Michael really had the eagle eye this time, watching Damon molest her stomach and everything. And I didn't see it. So, and I was on the same, I thought it was the last episode because, it went to black. And I think I saw a note somewhere that it was. So I must have read the wrong thing. So I thought it was over. I mean, I didn't know. The patronizing toast was really, I don't know how, that was all those toasts that stood up trying to appease the king. I thought I didn't think that was like a serious thing until they started fighting. The uncles and the nephews started, Patch got up and he said some kind words, but no one thought he was being really kind. So they started fighting. And then Damon had to step in well, I don't know what I don't know. I know
we're having trouble with the names too. But so Richard, forgive me a moment.
But anyway, he wears a patch, and I'm in the nickname, so I'll call him.
Dude,
Patch.
that was funny. I like it.
So half the names on this show, they're like very similar to other names. It's like
3 letters
like one
difference
consonant.
or something.
Yeah, all you gotta do is rhyme with them, and you're like, okay, we're close enough. But the whole episode, that was the first time Patch. No, it wasn't the first time Patch spoke, but he usually just stands there and stares at people like, all right, yeah, come at me. I'm ready.
Well, having the dragon has changed him. But I did get the note. Jesse, thank you. I know we kept you way late last time. And I know we got to let you go on this one. I want to thank you again. But, hey, it's 2 more episodes, pal. If you want
2 more episodes.
Yeah.
I was so beat up from this one because I thought it was the end, but I'm back on top now, baby. Ready to go for the next one. Take my notes. I'm gonna be excited. Looks like it's gonna be a good one. So
go back to the episode and watch the ending of this episode, because you have the preview for the next episode, and then you have about a 6 or 7 mini feature on the episode. I was telling Michael that I did see it this time. And it's good. So
I'm gonna have to go back too then.
Yeah. Okay. I know you didn't see the teaser either. When it went dark, you pulled them. That was funny.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I thought, well, okay, that's great. But okay.
All right. Well, we still have 2 more. But again, Lord Jesse, I want to thank you. It is fun. We got 2 more episodes. Hopefully we can have you back. And speaking of Michael, I believe we have a guest. We'll announce tomorrow's guest in a little bit. But I think next week, I don't know who's going to join us on the 17th at 6 p.m.
We got some Lord coming.
Really? Do you know who's going to join us on the? Oh damn! I didn't. Oh, the 17th at 6 p.m. Do you know who's going to be on?
It's somebody not important, I don't think. I think it's just someone.
Now we're being dicks. Ladies
I'm
and
sorry.
gentlemen,
That was just a joke there, Jesse.
that was funny, but we don't mean that. But we get out of hand. Ladies and gentlemen,
I've made myself too available now. That's it.
Yeah. Lord
the guy that's
Jesse
on every week
Arthur.
is going to be on again.
This is going to be cool. We're actually going to be interviewing Lord Jesse, and it's going to be fun the Monday after the holiday. So we're looking forward to it. And if you're able to join us again next Sunday, it would be a lot of fun. Jesse, this has been cool having you on, especially with your insight. Young man, thank you.
Thanks,
we know it's past your bedtime, buddy. Thank you.
It is.
Take it easy,
Thank you so
Jesse.
much, guys.
All right.
See you again.
Have a good
next
evening,
week, all right?
Jesse.
Thank you.
All right.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we have still quite a bit to get to. We did House of the Dragon. Valerie, Hope, thank you for the comments.
Yeah, but Roger, you pumped him up and pumped me up by saying that wasn't the last episode. We're like, oh, okay, yeah. So now we've got these boners, you know.
He was unhappy, dude.
He was so unhappy.
Well, look but look at him now. I mean, he's ready to go some more, man. That's awesome.
Both
I like
Michael
it.
and I said, on the teaser for the next episode, and his jaw dropped.
Well, mine would have too, because like I said, I did the same thing. It went to black. I said, okay, that's it. Yep. So
wow.
I kept thinking, well, I guess this will be our last time we talk about season 1 tonight. I said, okay, we'll talk about it. We'll be done. That's one less show to watch.
No.
I counted my chickens before they hatched. That's
yes, you did. I was talking to Michael.
Or I counted my dragon eggs before they hatched.
Oh, very good, very good. I spoke to Michael yesterday. I said, dude, think about this. This is kind of neat. For the next few weeks, we've had for about 6 to 7 weeks. Well, no, okay, now 5 weeks. Andor on Wednesday, Lower Decks on Thursday, Rings of Power on Friday, and then House of the Dragon on Sunday. This is really cool, man. It is really neat.
And just to let you know, Raj, I'm all caught up.
Awesome. All right, Michael. Michael's also caught up. Folks, what do you guys want to get to? You guys want to get Lower Decks, Rings of Power, or Andor? Because I did not cover episode 4 of Andor last week because we went late.
We did.
Like, it's not fair to the audience. No, I had a great time, Richard. Thank you.
Well, we always do, but
yeah.
I mean, we could have kept going, Raj, because we like talking about this stuff. But unless you got to get up in the morning and
no, it's a holiday for me tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're a government holiday. Never mind.
Yes.
So I guess we can be on all night and all day.
No, poor Michael.
Look at Michael. He's ready to go too.
No, I've got a web show to program that I just found out about just before we went on air.
Oh, well, you can actually do that right now. You know that, right?
I know, but I'm trying. Yes.
Oh, okay. Michael, what do you want to go to? Do you want to go to Rings of Power, Andor, or Lower Decks?
Let's go. Well, we've already talked about that between ourselves. Let's go to Lower Decks.
Okay.
Richard, wait a minute. But Richard hasn't seen that yet, though.
Yes, I have. I'm all caught up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 episodes. He's caught up. So after that, we'll do Andor, and then we'll do Rings of Power, if that's okay with you folks. So,
okay.
This is really good. Lower Decks, episode 7, a mathematically perfect redemption. As we know, the episode immediately goes right back to episode 10, season 1. And basically the byline on this one is a wayward Starfleet ensign struggles to find a path to redemption. Yeah, Season 1, Peanut Hamper does not save the day. We know exactly what happened. She skipped in her duty. She got hung out to dry, and she's waiting, and everyone left. So we had a different intro for the episode this time. It went straight into, so I don't know. Obviously, they were doing it on purpose to give us a different feel because it was it wasn't the regular Starfleet crew intro. This was a story of a traitor. This was a story of a person who was not a team player and someone who doesn't fit the Federation. So I guess didn't get her. She doesn't get an intro. But Peanut Hamper is floating in space. And did you guys see as she's trying to get back to the Federation? Did you see what the dumb wench did? She had a little volleyball named Sophia.
Oh yeah, I got the Castaway reference.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was a little bit out of shape over that one.
I was afraid the whole episode was going to be about her being all by herself and talking to this little ball or whatever she had, and I didn't want to go through that. But luckily, that was just a quick.
Yeah, doesn't Peanut Hamper say something? Oh, you're with me forever, this and this, and all of a sudden, oh, you don't fit, gotta go, bye.
Yeah. Well, that's the way that show goes, and that's the way she was in this episode. But I got anyway. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I thought it was amusing because she called her Sophia. That was about it. But
yeah, I got it too, and I'm glad we didn't spend the whole episode her being like a castaway, homage or whatever you want to call it, or parody. But
right.
We moved on. We did it real quick. We moved on to the next thing, so it was awesome.
Yeah, she lands on a nearby Class M planet, which is all these birds. The one who brings her back, Cap Doris of Avior, which was kind of funny. And then she says, F indeed. And the guy said, well, what does that mean? Oh, something we say when we're stranded on a backwater world. And then he says, fuck indeed. That was kind of funny. I'm sorry. I did enjoy that part. But, hey, it is what it is. It felt a little bit like Avatar after that. Because she was taking on the character of Sully, where they were going to take her into the culture. And, as the main guy says, well, we just need time to adjust. And then she sees flying pigs, says, does everything on this planet have wings? She says, of course. And then they all get scared. Sky Snake! She says, ridiculous. Sky Snake, if everything have wings, shouldn't it just be a snake? And they didn't answer that, which I thought it was kind of funny. And then she was better at the milk processing. And, they were talking about the great circle of life. The Sky Snake bit the chief, but she uses anti-venom. And it's called science, folks. So she saves him. And they go to the incubation hut. Most of the eggs don't survive, but she saved all 36. And then the prince and Peanut Hamper, well, I guess after Sing for me, it was enough. She says, never do that again. But turns out that, hey, she makes it. And they find a waterfall that houses all the relics. And it turns out that they have technology. And she's like, oh, my God. So I wasn't doing a prime directive violation here. So, hey, time passes. They get married. And the first prince and Peanut Hamper, they're, the wedding is interrupted. You have the Jumani scavengers. They're like, hey, we just want the minerals and we'll live in peace. And then they get hyper because the primitives are resisting. The Cerritos receives a call for help from Areolas. Stupid Boimler can't say, Areolas, Ari something or other. That was kind of funny. Of course, she's having a flashback later. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And it looks like Peanut Hamper is going to save the day. Save the day indeed. But it turns out that she was even succouring them at that point. So we all find out it's just a damn act. She called on those people to give her a chance to save everyone and to get back into Starfleet's good graces so they would save her. And she didn't. She's a lying little wench. It is what it is. Nice, neat little battle at the very end. But the people from Areoli saved themselves, which was really cool. They didn't need her help. And the Cerritos was there to make contact with them. And that was pretty much it. So what did you think, Lord Dick, about the episode? Richard, I don't hear you. log back out and log back in, or just exit and come back in, because you sound like a computer tape when you speak, which is kind of funny, and I don't hear you at the moment. So while he figures that out, Lord Michael, what were your thoughts about the episode?
Okay, you just want my thoughts on, yeah, because I was programming the other episode.
Yes.
Well, as I told you on the phone, I had totally forgotten about the Exocom being in another episode in the first season. I had totally forgotten about it. So it was like I was going, what are they doing? This is a weird beginning. But I mean, there was a lot of deep stuff, Prime Directive, and just trying to figure out what was what. And I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting. And little Exocom, calling the bad guys in to take all the old ships. I mean,
so she could save the day and get out.
Yes.
And but then she got mad and said, I should have called the Borg instead, the little wench.
Yeah.
I thought this was a misfire. Lord Dick, what did you think of the episode?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Loud and clear. You're coming in 10 by something.
Anyway, that's cool. I don't know what. Anyway, I'm glad that took
You're in
care
the
of
pipe, 5 by 5.
All right. Anyhow, well, I did enjoy it, but the scene with Peanut and the bird, the so-called, I don't know, kind of disturbing. The sex, I don't know what they did, but it disturbed
very disturbing.
It disturbed. As soon as I'm like, oh my, no way. Oh, I was very disturbed by it. I thought, oh, fuck.
Yeah, they say, I've longed for the touch of your nozzle.
Yeah, that was
our
disturbing.
Pieces are complicated. Wow.
Yeah. Well, the whole and even how they had them, in positioned in front of each other, and where I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you sure this is PG-13? But that was kind of disturbing, and I did enjoy it. I don't know, I enjoyed it. I guess because we didn't have that girl with her whining and screaming all the time and her voice, so I thought this is like a nice little break from that. And I liked
that. I'll grant you, yes.
And I liked how it ended when she thought he was talking about peace and quiet, and now she has all these people around. But now it looks like there may be maybe some future mischief with all these people that they have imprisoned. All these other machines,
all those other malevolent computers.
Yeah. So so it looks like maybe it's a future episode. I don't know, but so far But anyway, I did like it, and I liked how they were able to how they used the F-bomb, but when I saw the flying pig, like all I thought was, oh yeah, when pigs fly, that saying. I thought, okay, but anyway, that's what went through my brain. I don't know why, but it just did.
Oh, that's pretty good. When pigs fly. Oh, okay, that's good. I like that. I
don't know if anything was said to coincide with that, but that's what went through my brain. I mean, even though, because that's like one of a big saying. I don't know how if it's a big saying in Southern California, but it's a big saying in Southern America. But
well, she says, "Do all creatures have wings?" And he says, "Of course."
Well, yeah, I know that part, but the flying pig, really gets. But anyway. So I enjoyed it. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a C. I mean, it wasn't their best, but it was. I give it a C. So that's my opinion on it.
What sort of grade would you give it? I actually gave it a D. This is it. It didn't do it for me.
I was going to be nice and say C-.
I thought about it, but I was like, nah, this was a misfire.
Yeah, and yeah.
But
I'll stick mine C- just to be in between you two. But
that's good.
I mean, but I might have a C-.
Ooh, does that round up then to a C+? 2 minuses.
Two negatives make a
two
positive.
negatives. Yeah, 2 negatives make a
Yeah, so who knows? That's all right. I actually beat Michael to that one. Folks, it was good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just I'm used to really damn good stories. in my humble opinion, just for me, this one was a misfire. But I'm still in it. Hey, it was good. It had a few moments. It's just I didn't really laugh in this episode.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, and I'm used to at least a guttural once or twice each episode where it's like, oh man, that was good.
Like I said, I didn't laugh either. I was just kind of uncomfortable and disgusted by the peanut and the bird, whatever they were doing at. And and I gave it a C to be nice because but that I don't. But anyway, I'm done. Go ahead, Michael.
No, go ahead.
It's all good, folks. It's obvious that this was look. I'm not even been out of shape over this. I'm in on the 3rd season watching this program, and these guys are killing themselves for us. Most of these episodes are good, and I'm all right with it. I'm not, like I say, they didn't waste my time. I'm happy that they got this one out of the way. They were going to eventually have a bomb, so this one might be it. If that's it, man, in 3 years, I'm stunned. So I'm going to leave it at that. Really good stuff. So, all right. Any last comments on the Lower Decks episode?
I'm glad that episode's over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. That was better than what I was going to say, Mike. I enjoy that. Michael, I enjoy that. I agree.
Yeah. All right, let me put the Lower Decks one. Here it is. Paramount. Oh, folks, I'm not sure if you saw the announcement that Star Trek Prodigy will debut. It's the second half of the 1st season, which I was telling Michael, I don't get that, but hey, whatever. The second half of the season is going to debut. So let me see. Where are my notes to this? Okay, here's Lower Decks. I'm putting it away. All right, that one's gone. Okay, Star Wars Andor. Wow. Okay, so you guys have caught up. We didn't talk about episode 4. We can, or we can just go straight into episode 5. If you guys want, we can go straight into episode 5. The Axe Forgets. What do you guys want to do?
With time, I would say let's just go right into 5.
Okay.
Unless Richard has a different.
No, that's fine. If there's a time restraint, I'm cool with it. Let's go just to 5. I mean, if we have time, there's always some other time. There's only some.
Yeah, you're caught up.
I mean, yeah, but there's always time to go back to 4 at a later date if we need to.
Yeah, you're right. And 1, 2, and 3 to get your thoughts as well. So we're going to get to it. The Axe Forgets. Ladies and gentlemen, spoilers, obviously, duh. This was a damn good episode. I was really, really happy with this one. Did you like the episode, Lord Dick?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did. Go ahead and say something about it so I can jump in. I need a starter sentence.
I'll do the scenes. Just your thoughts real quick. Michael, did you like the episode? Did you enjoy it?
I did. I enjoyed it. Especially when Andor came clean.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I go ahead, Michael.
I did that for you, Richard.
You said something like I said, okay, my brain just turned on maybe. But
I know that's why I said it. Yes.
He did. And the thing is, it's kind of, and he's not too happy having to play soldier either. And I did enjoy. That's what's got me getting ready for next episode to see if they can pull off this little plan of theirs. And he's a little touchy, they touch something of his and he gets right on their face. Don't touch that. Don't touch me. Fuck, leave me alone. But he still needs to be this team player. And they're still trying to get used to him. If I'm not taking that out of context, and they're not too sure about him.
No,
but yet,
I think they are.
But yet he seems to know things about being a soldier, unless he's just putting on airs.
Well, in that scene that you guys are talking about, they started off, they were resting, they were eating, and then Scheme removes the crystal from Andor. He comes up with a knife or a gun, and he cuts it off. And he says, "This is Sky Kyber. Where the hell does this come from? Remember in the other episodes where what's his face? Luther tells him, here's a down payment.
Yeah.
Do not accept anything less than 50,000. Okay, I thought that was funny because he said, dude, this is worth a lot. This is worth 60, 70, 80. It has intrinsic value, but no one accept less than 50. And this farmer, this country bumpkin, that's worth $30,000. It's like, oh, wow, you know, he doesn't understand the value. I mean, they understand it's valuable, but
not how valuable.
Yes. So he says 30,000 credits for the stone. And then what's her face says, everyone stand down, stand down. We'll talk when we're safe. And he admits, what? You don't know? I'm here for the money. That's what it is. I know you're scared. So am I. See, but there's a difference between being scared. Fear is losing your nerve. And I have my nerve. And I think I have the accent a little bit too. So I like Cassian Andor. Says, I'm here for the money. That's what it is. Does it bother you that I'm a mercenary? Hey, it sounds like I'm a little bit off. I'm being stupid, but it was really cool when he came clean. And then jumping ahead, or no, after that, when Scheme, I don't know the name, the leader of the group, but she obviously bitch slapped him. Says, dude, he told you why he's here. And then Scheme later on says, she told me to tell you about my brother. It's a long story. It's very convoluted, but my brother. And he put lots of pebbles and rocks in his boat. So he lost everything. So it looked like he took his life. It's pepper trees. They were old trees, centuries old. And then Scheme tells him, that's the closest you're going to get to an apology. I mean, I don't mean to sound stupid, but dude, those were the feels. Those are two evil guys. Well, not evil guys, roughnecks that have had shit happen to them, but they're in for the cause and they don't let their guard down. And they're giving up some of their story. They're giving up some of their weakness. And everyone could hear. And I love what Andor says after. Close enough. Because he says, that's the closest you're going to get to an apology. Mm-hmm. And Andor says, close enough. That was good stuff. I was telling Michael, there's some damn good writing in this episode, man. This was an episode where it just moves the story forward. If you ever want character development, this episode has it. I'm not saying it's loaded with it, but we learn a lot. And then we even see Mon Mothma. She is a hero of the rebellion. We know what she does, what she has done, because it happens in the future and how she starts it. She's not the only one, but she's a major part of it. And she's scared because she says in the prior episode, in episode 4, it's getting harder and harder to move the money.
Yes.
She says, the money's there. It's just getting harder and harder. She says, wow, you know, it's a risk that we all take. I say, yes, I know. I'm the first one to go. They're following me everywhere. They had new driver, new assistants, and they're following her. I think she's overreacting more than anything else.
Are you sure? Are you sure she is? Because, I mean, it sounded like, from what I remember, I thought I heard that she hadn't had any changes in her personnel for a while, and then all of a sudden, people started to change. And
it's a constant change.
Yes.
All right, I'm willing to give you on that one, Michael. I'm gonna have to rethink that. But there's a scene where she walks in to her family, and not even at home do they give her any love. Her husband doesn't give a shit. He deals with the people that don't care. They have money. And remember, he says, well, I want to be with people who are fun. And the husband thinks people who are fun is people who are not fighting the good fight. He is detached. He has a great life. And he refers to the driver. And she says, it's Clovis. So you know his name. I mean, what a bastard. But okay, that's a little bit later. But in the scene, she says, okay, guys, let's go. And Lita, the daughter, refuses to go. She's like, no, Dad's going to take me. I don't have to go. But we planned this. No. You planned it. And she says, well, you realize that you're putting me in a spot. Oh, there it is again. Oh, it's always all about you. Wow. In a way, it's sad to see that even in her own home, there is no peace. She has no control. She struggles at home too. And she has the weight of the galaxy on her. And there's no love at home. The husband doesn't know what she does. The daughter doesn't know what she does. And
that's why they think she's so self-centered. I mean, because
yes.
And so, because they think, well, she's, who knows? And like you said, they don't really pay attention, but yeah, anyway, move on, Roger. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Not at all, Richard. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think it is clearly appropriate that it hurts. She is alone in this fight and in this battle.
Yeah, because she doesn't have the support of her family. I mean, it's rough. Well, I guess you could put that down to what if you had a secret identity if you're a superhero and everyone thinks you're self-centered, but yet you're off saving the world. They don't know that you're Spider-Man or Superman or whatever. But anyway, that's a little bit of a stretch. But anyway, go ahead, Raj.
No, I like that. Let's back up to the very beginning of the episode. The corporate security guard is on Coruscant, and he's in his bedroom, and he looks out the window, and he knows what's going to happen. And just for 4 seconds, he gets sunlight, and then it's gone. He is so deep down in the bowels of Coruscant that he gets daylight for about 4 seconds, and that's it. That's how deep he is. And he has to deal with his mother, the effervescent, annoying, oh my God, mother from hell, social climber. She is nothing in society, and she wants to be. When her son comes home she's like, what the hell are you looking at? Get the hell out of here. And she slaps the shit out of her son because of the apparent failure that he's had. It's funny.
Yeah.
He's a believer, but he has failed her. So she tells him, you want to tell me, do you have any prospects? Anything? He's not answering. She says, oh, so you have no future prospects. I'm calling Uncle Harlow. Oh, did you see The Sopranos or what on that one? I swear. I have an uncle, Uncle Rudy. I have an uncle also that if I call, it would be for the exact same thing. And Cyril needs a job, and that's what it is. So then we switch over to Andor. He awakes, and he's missing his stuff. And that's what Lord Dick had talked about a little while ago. Scheme has him, and he's got him out on the table, and Andor flips out. And he's, what the hell are you doing? He says, she ordered me to do it. Calm the F down. All right. And then Scheme doesn't have a shirt on, but he has tattoos. Are they tattoos or are they marks for where he's been? What do you think, Richard? I think they're the not the juvenile hall thing, but he's marked. It's like what they used to do in the Holocaust. They would burn the image onto them. And that's how you know that they were always there. I think those were marks that were done by the Empire. What do you think?
So you think those are marks when he was doing his prison time?
Yes, because they both allude to being in cages.
Well, I know. Well, that's what they kind of bond over that they were both incarcerated at some points in time. But you may be right. I'm going to go with that. That sounds good to me. Scheme
does tell him, where you been? And Andor says, Sippo Youth Center. He says, yeah, I don't know it. And he says, yeah, it's not even worth mentioning. And, the line is they both been in cages. And then that's where he says, well, why? Well, the axe forgets, but the tree remembers. I'm doing this. And Andor says, for revenge. He says, well, it's good enough for now. And then Andor says, well, I'm here to win and walk away. And then as he's walking away, Scheme says, wouldn't that be lovely? Oh, great interplay between the two. Some thoughts on that, Michael, Richard? I mean, seeing the connection between those two, they both have records. They've both done things, good or bad. They've lived that life, that they acknowledge that. They've learned a little bit more. They're still weary of him, though. They don't trust Andor.
No, they don't.
Michael, your thoughts?
And I don't think they will. It's to see how everything goes.
Yeah.
In their, what do you want to call it, escapade that's coming up.
Yeah.
I really don't think they're going to trust him all the way through, and they're just going to watch their backs.
The next scene, Clovis, the driver, and then she's at home, so we kind of talked about that. And then they're back on the planet, and the real smart one is starting to talk about that hyperdrive navigation system. He says, before the Empire, you could do it all with this. I had a flashback to what our parents and grandparents would talk about old technology, that you could do it all with this. I'm kind of thinking a sextant as opposed to a GPS system today, or maybe not even a sextant, a freaking compass. It's just old technology that works. It's true freedom. This kid is a believer in the old ways, and it was really cool to learn that. And he says, even Andor says, dude, that's old stuff. He says, yeah, but once you mastered it, it was free. You were free, and you could fix it relatively easy. It was your freedom. We're dependent on the Empire now. And then Scheme says, huh? He's writing a manifesto. He says, wow, I still need some phrases and stuff and titles. But yes, he talks about the pace of oppression. It overwhelms us. It's much easier to talk about 40 events than it is one. And then, he learns that he's the believer. And I think he says, Scheme's coming along. I haven't gotten through to him yet, but it's getting through. So I thought that was kind of cool. And Scheme heard that, and he just ignored him. He didn't answer. And then they say, Clem, come on over here. And then they're in the hut or whatever, and they're talking about the shuttle, how it's on a glide. And they're asking him, so do you know how to fly it out? And he's like, don't you? Well, we're asking you, don't you know? There's a clutch. That's not in the specs. He says, well, it's just the way things are. They're, I forget what he calls it, but it's not in the manual, but it's there. He says, well, okay, we needed to know. He says, oh, no, I'm flying. And they say, okay. So I don't know what you guys thought about that. I don't know if I know they didn't have the answer, but was Andor making up the answer? Or does he know how to fly that Imperial shuttle?
Good question.
Richard?
I'm going to say he does.
Okay.
Yeah, but because he has to know he's going to have to prove it sometime. But to get in there and go, I didn't think we were going to get this far. So I'm going to go. I think there's more to him than we think. So, I mean, I know we just got introduced to this guy, so I don't know. So I'm going to say that he knows. And if he doesn't, he's going to have to figure it out in a matter of seconds. So
I think he said, well, the others said they would figure it out. Like, it's not that easy. But speaking of figuring it out, I know it's late. Lord Michael, I think you're done, right, sir?
Yeah, I sadly am done for tonight.
Okay, did you have any last thoughts before you wanted to go about that episode?
Well, maybe I don't know if I want to rate it now. I might influence both of your ratings.
No, I already have my rating written.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Well, mine is between a B+ and an A-.
Oh, wow. Okay, out of curiosity, Richard, did you give it a rating?
no, but Mine's about. I'm going to give it about a B.
Oh, okay. I gave this one an A minus. So A minus, B plus, and a B. Wow, we're pretty close in the range, guys. That is really cool. All right, Michael, thank you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
I guess we have an appointment tomorrow, so that's good.
We do, yes.
All right, sounds good, man. Okay, we'll continue.
Have a good night, Michael.
Thank you.
All right, after that, they show the animals being fed, and they're talking about the view, where they're describing this canyon is not unlike where we're going. You know, you've got the big old station over here and the hangar bay over there, except it's going up where we are as opposed to where it's going down. So they were just talking about imagining the view, and then they actually switch to the station, and the lieutenant is pissed because right outside of that station, there's an old, what the residents of that planet, there's like a temple there, and they were using it for target practice, and he was pissed. He is pissed. And he says, you guys better clean it up. I'm going to be gone for about an hour. So we get to the soldier training, and then the Imperials move in. Oh, and then we go back to the old planet. The Imperials move in. The hotel's being cleared out, and the Roger character showed up. The Imperial in the black uniform, the captain, that was speaking to that. He says, hey, I know it's not going to be more money or anything, but can I have the prefect title?
Right. He did ask that. Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't care what. Just make sure you have this set up by the time I write my
he wants
report,
that.
right?
He wants that building ready to go. He says, I don't care, but you better get this thing done. He only had a certain amount of time, didn't he? And he says, oh yeah, when I get back, this better be ready. And it sounded like you can have whatever title you want, but if this isn't ready when I get back, you're still going to die. So I mean,
I don't care what you call it yourself.
Yeah.
You go for it. I died laughing. I said, oh my God, that was the Roger character right there. All right. And then he says, maybe prefect, whatever. And then they're back to the planet where they're marching. And then Lieutenant Gorn, I don't know what my note was right there, but they're doing the marching. And then Scheme, as Andor is behind Scheme, if I'm not correct.
Right. He's in the back.
Yeah. And then he says, well, Scheme is left-handed. He should be on the outside because you should have your arms on the outside. And the leader of that little group is like, hey, you should pay attention before you start suggesting. And then the leader says, why? Because you should have your arms
exactly.
on the outside.
And that's what gives me the impression that he will know about the shuttle because I don't know anything about marching like that, so I don't. But it seems like either he says things with authority that makes you think he knows what he's saying, or he actually has more experience than he's letting on.
He says, left-hander should swap sides. You want your open on your outside. And then he said, well, what am I? He says, you're right. Well, he's a lefty, but he goes right. That was interesting how he caught that.
Well, I mean, but the guy was asking him each name, like, okay, how much? And we showed there that Andor was paying attention. I mean, he wanted to make sure he was trying to get a measure of a man or whatever you want to call it. Like, okay, what exactly? So that's why he was testing him or whatever you want to call it, right? A measure of a man or something like that. Is that how the saying goes? Or his measure. He wants to get his measure. And Andor seems to be like, okay, he's paying attention to how everybody is. And actually to catch that, he's right, but does left or whatever it was. So that was that's very specific. So, but anyway, go on, Raj.
He was paying attention. That's the point.
But he doesn't, I don't think anything gets by him. I think that he's always watching. And so whatever you think of his character, he knows what he's doing. He pays attention and he gets a measure of people.
they don't trust him. So when he says something and they're like, well, why? And he says, shut up. You should be paying attention as opposed to giving us ideas first. And then that's where she asks her, why is that? Yeah, and sure enough, yeah, he answered it. He answered it well.
Yeah, but that's surprising because usually in those scenarios, they shut somebody up and then they find out later to their that he's right, even though, and it might also cost some lives. Oh, I guess you were right, man. but this time, they ask him right, but she asked him, well, why? So they get the answer. So hopefully he'll be proven right, but by saving lives when the time comes.
Yeah, I hope there is a scene where the lefty does come into play as opposed to the right. That would be kind of cool. And they all get a chance to see it.
I'm hoping that it's foreshadowing,
Yes. Now, just right after that, they hear something and then they see it. TIE fighter, hide the guns, or cover the guns. And they say, okay, it looks like it's left. And then I don't remember her name, Senta. It's not Seska. That's from Voyager. I think it's Senta. She says, no, it's not gone yet. And then that little bastard comes over the hill. And I could see it. That dumb little SOB sees some natives. And what's he going to say? Hey, watch me buzz the tower or watch me buzz these bastards.
But that's what he does. But it was good to hear that familiar sound.
Yeah.
Of the TIE fighter. I mean, that brings back memories. Like, oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, that hits the spot.
Yes. And it's deafening to them. I think several of them cover their ears, and you notice Andor doesn't even flinch.
No.
So I don't know if Scheme did either.
I can't remember. I wish I would. I just noticed that Andor was just like he was just so standing there, like bring it on. I mean, like it didn't bother him. Like so, I think we're learning things, but because I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe he was part of the Empire at one time. I don't know.
Well, there was a comment somewhere else which I did not catch, and I've got to go back and watch it because there's a patch that was used by someone in one of the prior episodes that someone actually caught. I think it was in episode 3 where they had a patch of the Republic. So it's in episode 3. I've got to go back and see it. That's why I haven't commented about it right now. But later on, when the TIE fighter goes by, then you had the real smart one that was writing the manifesto. And he says, surprise from above is never as shocking as it is from below. That was a good line. I think they're talking about traitorous acts. So it's never a surprise when they come in. Okay.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, it sounds good. I like it.
Yeah. And then we see Lieutenant Gorn. He's inspecting from atop, and he says, they're up on the very top. He says, can you imagine what it was like when there were a lot of people here for the event that's going to be here in about a day or two? And Lieutenant Gorn says, yeah, I can imagine it. And he says, how many do you think? Well, there were thousands before. I think last time there was less than 100. So there won't be very many people that show up. So I know they're pulling up their equipment. And then she's Senta, I believe that is her name. She's helping him. And he says, you're a healer. And then someone says, oh, the female leader says, hey, watch yourself, you little shit. And I think the innuendo is stop sniffing around. I think that's what she was telling him. Says, you can heal, you can bandage up your own wound, you little bastard. Yeah. And then, of course, he gets hyper because Scheme was just moving Andor's stuff. And then we switch back to the ISB HQ. And the other officer, the female one, they're talking about, is it Hosnian Prime? Their reports have been flawless for the last 12 quarters. Not a thing has been missing. So it's like they're talking about a list of areas under their sectors, and they cannot find a report of the missing piece because she's still on that one. So she says it's got to be the Imperial Navy. You know those dumb bastards. They'll cover everything up. I love the way they said that. Says,
yeah.
The damn Navy, the military, they don't give a shit. They lose stuff all the time. So they make, the statement, well, what about Kessel? What about Fondor? Says, you're onto something. Says, yeah, we might be onto something, but there's still no proof. And then they use the line, but how would you do it? I would spread it out. I wouldn't climb the same ladder twice. And then she says, it's too random to be random. I think that this woman is going to be the major player chasing the rebellion early on. She's detecting stuff is going on. She says it's happening in way too many places that it's, as she says, it's too random to be random. She knows. No one else, because they have to go by proof. I get it. This is CIA or FBI, whichever one, right? You have to be precise.
Right.
Because it's the galaxy is so huge. So her officer decides to stay with her, and they're going to keep on working at it. And then we see they're back on the planet. They're burning the models. They're burning everything where they are. And he says, stay focused, Clem. And they say, we're going to do this to the rebellion. I was surprised that they said that. Did you catch that line?
What, say that again?
When they say, stay focused, Clem. And then we're doing this to the rebellion. So,
I didn't catch that.
I want to make sure that they did say that, but I didn't notice that. And then it turns out the morning they move out. And then we switch back to Coruscant. And she said, Uncle Harlow wants to think about what happened. He's questioning your choice. But he did hear me, and he's going to be thinking about what would be good for, I guess his name is, how's the dumb bastard's name? Cyril. So we'll see. They're marching to the target. Then they ask, well, why is Lieutenant Gorn involved? Everyone seems to know except for me, says Andor. And then they describe what happened. He fell in love with someone on the planet. He lost his promotion because of it. He lost his woman. And then he lost his love for the Empire. That's why he's doing what he's doing. So it's revenge, too. And then they switch back to Lieutenant Gorn, where he's reviewing the schedule, and he's writing these guys, saying, hey, man, we have an engineering officer that's going to arrive from Coruscant. And some people are saying, who's that engineering officer? Is it the guy in the white cape in Rogue One? I'm like, I don't know. But they're implying that it could be. And they're telling him, sir, tomorrow's the big event, and morale will be crushed if we're not on a skeleton crew. This only happens every 3 years. You've seen it, right, sir? You've been here 7 years. He says, yes, I've seen it twice. So
yeah.
He is.
That's some good, quick math.
Yeah. Well, I think they said in the episode. Says morale.
Well, I'm talking about the character, not you.
Oh, okay.
Because you were saying that's what he said. He's seen it twice. So yeah. 7 years, every 3 years. Okay, yeah, okay, makes sense. I was not alluding to you. I was talking about. I meant the character because, like we couldn't figure that out on our own, unless he was being a smart ass.
No, they want time off. And he says, all right.
Well, look. I mean, when he says, when the guy asks, well, you've seen it too. And he goes, well, yeah, I've been here 7 years. Okay. Like the guy should know how long he's been there. So he should know that he's seen it, unless, oh no, those times I took vacation or something. But yeah, anyway, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Go ahead.
Not at all. I think his comments are great. He has manipulated his unit into having to do all this extra stuff that they're running behind. He says, okay, once the engineer's gone, you got to get all this shit done. Otherwise, I'm going to rain down hell on you guys. But it looks like we're going to have a very thin staff, the bare minimum when they launch the strike. So it's looking good. We see them resting, then eating, and then we had the scene where Skeen removes the crystal, which we talked about. And then we switch back to Coruscant, where they're in the car, and the husband and wife are talking about another charitable foundation. He says, what, you got another one going? Yeah. I didn't think you'd be interested. And then he turns to her and he says, what's the name of the driver? And she gives him the name, and he says, Cloris, do you mind taking the expressway? And then they finally get to the dam. It's within view. And they say, let's get the fire up to make contact. Lieutenant Gorn sees it. And, the corporate security guy is back on Coruscant, and he opens up the image of Andor. Dude, he is still pissed. He is still pissed at Andor. And he's going to get him. Lieutenant Gorn sees a signal, and then Scheme says, oh, then it was the scene where my brother, they killed him. He was a farmer. What kind of farm? Pepper trees, etc., etc. And then the two girls are saying, no farewells tonight. So where are you going? Don't worry about it. We'll see you tomorrow. They won't tell him, they separate. And then Luthen is listening to the radio. He's hoping for a signal. And I think it's his wife. She says, dude, you're not going to hear anything. It's tomorrow anyway. So you didn't hear anything an hour ago. That's it. Then he turns to her. Do you have your walk-away pack? She goes, yes. And it's obvious that Luthen is nervous. And she says, by this time tomorrow, it'll all be over. And then we finish with his words, or just starting. I did like that. That was a cool way to end the episode, huh?
Yeah. But
wow.
Gosh. That was a good episode. I don't know why I lost my thought process for a second.
No, you're okay, buddy. I was just telling you at the very end that it was Luthen was trying to listen for a signal, and she says, no, don't worry. You're going to know tomorrow. And it's just the way it is. So it says, by this time tomorrow, it'll all be over, she says. And then he says, or just starting. Yeah, that was good. I did appreciate that. My thoughts on this one, Richard, it was a good character building. We learn more of them as well, but we got a few more shades of gray of Andor. Andor has been doing this alone all his life, so he doesn't reveal stuff. But he's met up with a tight-knit group. They've all been wronged, and that's why they're in on it. And there's a lot of money, and they're hoping to score. I don't know if they think they're going to stay on the planet or escape. I don't know what their plan is, dude.
I don't either. And I guess that's all part of the mystery.
Yeah. So I give this one, I really did enjoy this episode. I did give this one an A-. And I guess you gave it a B, which is still good. And
yeah.
Mike gave it an A-. So
yeah.
Let me see. I'm just putting my notes away just so I can stay caught up. On episode 4, I gave it a C+, by the way. But that's okay. I've got all my notes on Andor.
Well, C4. Episode 4, that was a C, huh? I guess that was. I mean, it's pretty decent with the action and how they were prepared to defend themselves. And okay, that's fine. But I like that one too. I mean, it's him trying to sell that thingamajig to that guy because they keep arguing about it. I'm not going to pay that. Like, you need to come with me, and he goes, why? Because they're coming. Everybody's coming, and he says, I've got this thing lit up. I mean, when they come, I'm going to blow the place. I mean, we've got to get out of here. And so they're always on the run, and Andor's trying to figure out what he's up to, and we've lost some people, and the one guy got in. But a lot of stuff happened in that episode too. It seems like a lot of stuff happens in all these episodes. You really gotta keep watching because there's really no lull. You have to keep watching because there's always something. But anyway, because like I said, I've watched them all, and they're you just gotta keep on top of it. That's all I've got to say.
And the problem that you, I, and Michael are having is that we're watching a lot of stuff in a short period of time. And it is difficult for us to get the names down. We're getting them, but it's taking a while. I noticed that.
Oh yeah, I mean, at least we know who Andor is. We can. Well, I know who Andor is, and I know who Damon is because I like Matt Smith. So I mean, that's easy for me. It's like, okay, there's because I've watched him since he played the Doctor on Doctor Who. So I mean, and then I watched him play Charles Manson on a Netflix movie.
Oh, really?
Which was odd. Yeah, it's called Charlie Speaks.
Okay.
And so it has him playing Charlie Manson, and it's also, so I mean, I think it's like a limited series too, but it's interesting because I'm like, wait a minute, that's Matt Smith playing Charles Damon, but he's British. Well, okay, I'll go with it. But he does a good job playing. I didn't know Charles Manson, so I don't know if he did a good job or not. But he did a good acting job. But I never met Charles Manson to make a comparison.
Yeah, nor have I. So it's all good. Oh, wow. Hey, so look, we've gotten through 3 episodes. I don't know how you're feeling. I know it's super early for you in the morning, but we have the Rings of Power. Did you want to talk about that today? Or do you want to talk about it another time?
If you have time.
Yeah, we do. Look, I need a quick moment. I'm actually out of coffee. I need to get some water at the very least. Give me a quick moment. Go ahead and just announce something. Just no dead air, please. I'll be right back.
No dead air. You're talking to the wrong person.
Dumbass.
No dead
coffee.
air. I'm telling you. I am telling you. So.
Oh, mother of God. I have 2 wild cherry Pepsis and 1 cherry Coke. Oh,
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, I'll take the coffee with me a little bit later. I'm actually already making it. I actually needed a drink, folks. I apologize. Folks, we have quite a few people watching us already. Let us know who you are and where you hail from. Come on in and join the group. If you guys want to talk, doesn't matter. We don't care. We're all up together, and we thank you that you're spending time with us. If you guys want in, come on in. Just comment in the chat room. We'll see about bringing you in, folks. Okay. But we've already discussed.
Well, you go ahead and talk. Now it's my turn.
Oh yeah, go ahead, brother. We already did the Star Wars Andor. We did House of the Dragon, and we did Lower Decks. And now we're going to be doing the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Episode 7, entitled The Eye. So we saw what happened in episode 6. Boom! It was big. But folks, I ask you to bear with me a moment. I'm going to... I need to take a quick drink. And I love the image of Lord Dick. That's so funny. Oh, sorry about that. You know, I haven't had a Coke soda in about 4 weeks. Whenever you're not feeling well and you need to get that burp out, I know it's going to be very disgusting. I'm going to try to hold it in. But, folks, there are times when you just need that pick-me-up. I know I'm giving way too much play to Coke, but I'm going to do it. I'm feeling tired, but this is good. I'm sorry. Is something going on down there? Oh, anyway. I just drank it. How could I have gas? I know. That's disgusting, right? Did that on purpose. What you do is you drink it fast and you hold it in. And then you just hold it in. And then. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, my goodness. You just feel better. I know. I apologize. I am so sorry. I needed that right now. Woohoo! All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're talking about. Oh, I've not had a soda in a while. So, Rings of Power. Really good stuff. We saw the end of episode 6. Mount Doom. We're in the Shadowlands. Now we know how it happens. And the geologist in me was like, oh, that was a phreatic explosion. The water went into the magma chamber, created all this gas, and the water interacting with the magma caused a phreatic explosion. That's the geologist in me. Woohoo! So, it was more likely a cone volcano. Is it a cone or a shield volcano? I think it's more of a cone volcano, but that's all right. That's the geologist in me. That's stupid. You know, I'm a show off. I'm a know-it-all, but it's okay. So, it's 9:36 p.m. Pacific time. It is October 9th. As you know, Jesse, who is on with us, and Lord Dick, Jesse was on us with Lord Dick, who is now, he had no idea that for the House of the Dragon, they thought that was it. It was just 8 episodes. No, there's still 2 more. So we're still going to be on at least for another 2 more episodes on Sunday night. We may be switching to Monday night or Thursday. I haven't decided, but we have quite a few other programs that are going to be joining us as the year progresses. And it looks like we're going to have programming throughout the entire week. As you know, at ndbmedia.net, you can check out all of the stuff that is going on. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Monday Night America, usually at 6 or 7 p.m. on the video aspect. At 7 p.m. on Tuesday, we have Fandom Access, which is on our Blog Talk radio channel. That's just audio only, digital radio, basically. On Wednesday, and it's going to be this Wednesday, we have the Rock and Roll Shrink, which is on at 8 p.m. Pacific time and 11 p.m. Eastern. And then we have on Thursday, Travel Itch Radio, which is on Blog Talk Radio, the digital, as is the Rock and Roll Shrink. On Friday, nothing regularly scheduled. Saturday morning, we have, of course, Sports Talk with the guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. And then, of course, on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on the digital radio, we have The Walking Dead, the original, the OG final season. And then immediately at 7:30 on video, you have Trekking Across the Universe. So really, really good stuff. We did announce it earlier that on October 27th, Star Trek Prodigy is returning the second half to season 1, which I would have thought it would have been season 2, but they split the first season 1 year apart. Go figure, but it's still the first season, second half. So I don't know. I guess due to COVID, they did it that way so they would have more regular material. We know Star Trek Picard, I believe Picard debuts, forgive me, Star Trek, when was that one debuted? Star Trek Picard, on February 16th. So we do have that on calendar already. And by the way, since I'm going over the calendar for next year, Indiana Jones 5. Oh, no, wait. Indiana Jones 5 is going to debut June 30th of 2023. On July 14th, Mission Impossible 7. And then on December 23rd, 2023, Avatar 3 will debut. So that's a quick look at what we have on calendar for right now for entertainment stuff. I know that at the end of the year, all right, well, let me look at the rest of October, what we have as far as movies. Let me see. Actually, nothing really in October. In November, we have something about the Tulsa King. I'll have to look that up. I don't know exactly, but yeah. Avatar Way of the Water will debut December 16th. And that's what we have right now to finish off the year. I'm sure we'll have a few other items, but for right now, that's all that we have. All right, folks. So getting back to calendar. Richard, thank you for returning. I went over some calendarized items.
Okay.
Upcoming.
Thanks for returning. It's like, I'm going to leave Roger in the lurch.
Not at all. Not at all. I
but it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
So. All right. My voice is beginning to go a little bit. You can clearly tell. A little tired, but we're good. Episode 7, The Eye. Okay, Richard, I know we did talk about episode 6 in really good detail, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Last
so
week,
we
right?
know it's Mount Doom that exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, because it ended with Galadriel being caught in that fire. I mean, an explosion. So
Yeah.
we start off with her waking up after being caught in that. So I guess she lived through it. We find out that she did live through all of this.
Yeah, it's literally seconds, and I hate saying that, but literally seconds after the Mount Doom explosion. So this is the aftermath. And the color scheme that they used was ash and red. It was no accident. Everything, I don't know if it was in slow motion, but it was, when you don't know what's going on, it's like the shock, you're a little dizzy. We see a horse is on fire. Then Galadriel starts to focus, and she sees many dead and much destruction. A lot of stuff. Flames.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's lucky that she survived. And I guess with the CGI horse on fire, you got to make sure that people know this was not an actual horse that was on fire, because some people might be calling PETA. But anyway, it looked real. It was awesome. And it showed what kind of carnage, because there was still fire pits coming up out in the village too. I mean, it wasn't like it just went away, and there were a lot of bodies. And I think she was still trying to get her wits about her, because like she's been unconscious, like you said, probably seconds, right? I think that's what you're saying.
Oh, actually, I don't know. What I meant by seconds is we're right after the explosion. I meant like as opposed to House of Dragon, which was 6 years between episodes.
Oh yeah, this is just
I'm talking about seconds.
This wasn't 6 years. Yeah, she was unconscious for 6 years. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is just.
Okay, I got you.
Prior episode.
I see what. Okay, that all makes sense now. Okay. Yeah.
Now, as I mentioned, she sees the death, much destruction. She can hear voices that are starting to come, and then she hears someone crying out for their mother, and she finds Theo, and she says, "Come to me," and Theo does go to her, and then we find out that there are some relief efforts, or people are trying to save other people. Isildur, with the help of the Queen Regent, try to save someone, and they pull out his friend that he got in trouble, but then they see the other one that said, "I'm done." In the last episode, he says, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm going home. This is not for me." Well, we know he doesn't make it out. And they're trying to get people out of the fire, the building, and everything comes down on Isildur. And I saw when I believe I saw when it happened to the Queen, because the Queen could see what was going on. She was directing rescue efforts. It wasn't a gray haze to her. But when the building started to come down, some flames and stuff came at her, and she fell back. And, well, that does affect, I believe that's where it happened. But we'll get to that in a moment. Recovery efforts are on. And then we switch to the hobbits. And the family, the Hartfords, are moving forward, and they're like, "Hey, I recognize this little hill, this ridge. That's what you said 3 days ago."
Yeah.
So they get over, and as soon as they get over, they catch up with the rest of the hobbits, and lo and behold, they find the exact same there too. Molten rocks were ejected, or as the hobbits say, spit fire. No, wait. Oh, yeah, the hobbits did say that. Of volcanoes from the south, that every few hundred years, or when evil is coming, they spit fire. So
right,
it was bad. And as a matter of fact, they talk about that, about Mount Doom's wrath, mounts from the south that are asleep for hundreds of years and awaken when a new evil appears, and they split fire rock. Sorry, that's what they call it, fire rock. So
right.
Gandalf tries to fix the damage to the tree, fails badly, and then the tree falls on Nuri and one of the other kids. And Nuri's genuinely scared. I don't know why. I guess the tree's so big, but it's like, dude, a branch fell off.
It was just part of the tree. It wasn't the whole tree.
branch, man. But I guess the branch for you and me is a branch. For them, it's a trunk.
Well, I guess, but yeah. So he tried. The stranger, the tall stranger, he tries to do some hocus pocus on the tree, and after the accident, that's all they see. They say, "Okay, he hurt these kids. You've got to go. You're done here. It's time for you to leave." Not that you didn't do anything. So he wanders off, and as he wanders off, we see a little branch sprout out of off the tree. So he did do something. So it wasn't all, but even though there was some kind of injury, he did actually we will find out that he did actually do his thing.
Right before that, when he's talking to the tree or muttering his prayer, whatever it is, they're like, "What's he saying? I don't know." But they're it sounds like small words. Why? So the tree can understand. Trees don't talk. And he says, "Yeah, some of them do," which was kind of cool. That was an homage. Yeah, there was more to that. I chuckled there when he's like, "Yeah, some of them do." But,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
No, go, Richard. Hey, we're both in on this, brother.
But yeah, so unfortunately, he's chased off because of that, and then, like I said, this looks like a small. So you saw a small branch coming up. So he said, "Okay, it didn't happen in a split second. It might take a while, but whatever he said to the tree, small words or not, did work." And so, what is it? Is it the next day?
Actually, that's a little bit later.
Or is it later? Or is it later in the day? Go ahead.
Actually, yeah, everything you covered. Then they switched to Elrond. He's asking for access to the mithril veins in exchange for 5 centuries of goods.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Save my people. And the king says, "Okay, well, I have to speak to my son." But I believe it was right there where they were talking about, how can I trust you? Oh, you should never trust anyone. But I am Elrond, half elf. I know what is happening to my people. They're blinded to it, but I am not. I ask you to trust me, and we will keep our promise. Your son knows this. So, he says, "I'll speak to my son." They exit. They talk about fire and rock. But then the king says, "I will not risk dwarven lives." And he says, "But my friend, he's drowning. Elrond is drowning, and you're telling me not to throw him a preserver? He is family to me. He is my brother." And the king says, "How dare you? How dare you insult the memory of your mother?" It's like, wow, dude, he was really too. I guess elves and dwarves do not get along. So.
No, but yeah, you're right. I mean, that was not the right thing to say.
Yeah. He says, "I'm sorry, my son, but the time of the owls has come. This has been decided by people greater than us, smarter than us. Their time has come, or their time has passed." So then, of course, Durin and his wife, I did not write her name down. They're having a conversation. And then Elrond learns of the decision because she says, "We will run this place eventually. Hey, let's do it." And so they call him back. And I believe it was right there where Durin throws the mithril on the table, and the mithril revives the leaf. He said, it was at that point he says, "Come back, Elrond! Come back!" So I guess he yells it out, and Elrond was able to hear it because of his marvelous hearing. So we see, then we switch back to what they call Shadowland. These lands are now dead, and the survivors gather and move to the hilltop, the ridgeline, where the Queen Regent says, "Well, we should go up." No, Galadriel says they were at the top of the ridgeline, so we should make our way there. And then the Queen Regent says, "When do you think the smoke is going to clear?" Elendil had an idea, but now he's certain. says, we cleared the smoke a mile ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he knows that she is blind. And I think there's a line in there where she says, please, please, please move. Oh, no, okay. Actually, no. Actually, they didn't just, oh, no. I made the note that the queen is now blind. I messed up. Where she says, Galadriel says, we got to go to the hilltop. And then I think Theo says, they're dead, aren't they? And Galadriel gives Theo her sword. I remember that. And then is where the conversation says, nearly a mile of clean air. And she says, I see. Do you? Only gray. Keep walking. Guide my horse. No one need notice. So, and then we switch back to the hobbits. The big folk settlements are on the other side, they tell him. And Gandalf takes his leave. And Nuri offers him an apple. And he leaves. And Nuri's talking about, had I stayed on the trail, we would not have met him. So she's remembering that. Theo and Galadriel then rest, and she tells him about her family. And she even says, my husband. And Theo says, shit, you had a husband?
Yeah.
Like, calm down, Theo, calm down.
He's like, whoa, oh, come on.
Man. I got the brother thing.
Now you tell me.
I mean, it was kind of funny the way he reacted. Your husband?
Yeah. What?
Damn. He says, and she tells him about her family, and then he says, my home is gone. Where's the design in that? And then the orcs appear over them, because I guess they heard them. But they get close, and then the orcs go away.
Yeah,
And,
they made. He kept talking. I think, didn't he? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he did something. I forget, but yeah.
Well, she did shut them up when the orcs were coming, and then after that they say ashes, nothing but ashes. We're wasting time, and then we switch back to the digging is underway. We need to give, and there's these like rock quakes or earthquakes, and Elrond says we need to give the rocks time to resettle.
Right.
And then they start talking about the fight they had with the rocks. And Durin says, "You lost on purpose. You lie.
Yeah.
Elf lies. He lies." And Elrond says, "I was winded."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then King Durin shows up. Enough. Seize the oath. And of course, they throw Elrond out. And then he talks about when your mother bore you. Folks said you'd never see your first winter. I held you up to the fire. Your son will leave, and he will move mountains. Oh, I'm sorry. Your son will live, and he will move mountains. Says, aye, but you never let me make decisions for my own. You suffocate any desire of mine. And then I guess he goes up to him, and he removes the plate. And he throws it.
Yeah. Right. That was something else.
And he goes to retrieve it, and he says, leave it. It's not yours anymore.
Exactly.
Wow. So we get to the point where the hobbits are singing. Nori's sister, which I don't know her name right now, she's singing. And then they say, look, he fixed it. All the trees are blooming, aren't they?
Yeah, not just
one. It wasn't
one.
just one. Yeah, lots of apples. And then there was lots of water. So he cleaned up the area.
Yeah.
Which was cool. And, that's where Nuri's sister sees footsteps, and then she disappears. And then the water or the bucket is going down the river. I thought they got her, but no, she ran.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a Tom and Jerry joke. You see something, and then next screen, the little bucket's going down the river. You didn't know she ran. So
yeah. Is that the first thing that we follow? Yeah, that's the first time that we follow something that's an inanimate object that leads us to something else. But anyway, go ahead with the bucket story.
I think so. So we see what I call three spirits, and they find the basket on the river.
Right.
And then they find the tree. And then the hobbits are like, hey, get away from there. And they're holding the flames. Get away. And whatever they are, they just they extinguish the flame and they blow the flame into the air and it burns all of their caravans.
Yeah, that was not. Yeah, they did. They should have just let. Yeah, that bucket led the three to them, and then they just wiped it out. And so her dropping the bucket led to the disaster because because I think weren't they were looking for the stranger, right? Like you're already calling him Gandalf, but I think what I was calling, but they were looking for him. They find them, they threaten them, and like you said, then they just wipe everything that the stranger had done is destroyed. They destroy it. The trees and everything is just boom gone. So they're back to square one.
I don't know who these people are or what they are, and they're hooded. I didn't see pointy. I didn't see any Vulcan ears. I'm sorry, elf ears.
Elf ears. I don't know either. All I know is that they didn't say anything. They're probably out. I think they're still out looking for the stranger, aren't they? Aren't they looking for the stranger?
I think so. Yes.
Because so I don't know if they have anything to do with him or not, or if they're like anyway. But like you said, they end up just destroying their village and they're back to square
assholes,
one.
Man.
Yeah, they were. They're
hobbits.
Yeah, I don't know if they got mad because they threatened them with the fire. They said, "Well, fuck, look, you don't threaten us," because it seems like they have powers too, like mystical powers, like like what they just did. So they might. But anyway, that's a mystery to be solved later on to see what they're up to. But it's unfortunate that happened after they thought they had some great. They thought they were on their way with the trees being fully grown and they're getting everything ready to go.
Yeah.
So
Richard, give me one moment. I need about another 10, 15 seconds. I have another drink. I'm having trouble. I need another soda. I have it in the refrigerator. I'll be right back.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry. I brought both this time.
Well, now you're prepared. Well, at least now you're prepared. Then now you don't have to make another trip, maybe.
Yeah, we're good. As far as my pages go, I'm already at the bottom of page 3 of 4, and it's good. So we then switch to the Numenor camp, and Elendil sees the horse belonging to Isildur, and he's trying to calm the horse down, and someone tells him, "No, the horse has a different owner, and the owner is not here." And of course, it's not Isildur. At first, he thinks Isildur is there with the horse, and when they turn, it was someone else. It was another soldier, and he's just absolutely crushed. Of course, someone tells him he won't listen to you or any of us. He listens to Isildur, and I think that's the way the horses go. So
yeah, but he didn't give up right away. He kept trying anyway. He's being he was being a little stubborn before he stopped, and then the horse took off.
Well, yeah, and then this is where he says, "I should have left the elf in the sea where I found her."
Yeah.
He was saying because of her, Isildur is dead. So,
yeah.
I get you want to build a drama. Forgive me, folks. Nothing personal, but I've seen this puppet show before. I know who Isildur is, but that's okay. A lot of people don't, I suppose. But he says, I should have left the elf in the area. And then Theo and Galadriel make it to camp. And then, of course, Theo is visiting the makeshift hospital, and he finds people burned, missing limbs. And
that was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was harsh. And they're just they're spent. This is what's left of this village. And then he thinks he finds his mother covered up. And just as he gets close, Bronwyn finds him. And then Arondir is there. And for a briefest of moments, that family is reunited. It actually felt kind of good, even for me, because they are a genuine family. Arendir and Bromwyn and Theo. So
Yeah.
it was interesting when Galadriel then went up to go see the Queen Regent. She can tell that she's blind, but Galadriel kneeled, and then she says no one kneels in Numenor. And I guess they make a pact. He says, "Let us put this land behind us. Do not pity me, elf. Save it for our enemies, for they know not what they've begun. Captain, we sail with the tide." Captain? I noticed she repeated it. I was like,
Yeah.
So I think they ask a little bit later. Okay, that actually we'll come back in a little bit. But then Nuri, we go back to the Hobbit, and she's gathering an apple or two. And she says, he didn't lie. Says, we will be okay. And I believe the other one says, we don't slay dragons, we don't dig holes, but we do stay true to one another. And they're not going to let them go alone. So I had a little flashbacks to the Lord of the Rings where Frodo says, no, I will take it. They're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
we're going with you. It was almost the same because they're hobbits. So, but he says, look, I'm an excellent tracker. We have to find him because, yes, he did give us this stuff. And then, but he's bitching. He says, doesn't matter anyway. We're all going to die. So I don't know if he meant going on this journey or in general in life, we're all going to die. But whatever. So as soon as that's seen, then they go to Numenor, sails back home, and they're talking about where they're going to go. Well, we have a fresh start in Freshlands, somewhere by I forget the name of the river, but it's mentioned in the Lord of the Rings. And if we look at the map, it's one of the famous rivers. So I know that they're probably talking about Gondor and Minas Tirith. I believe that's what they're talking about in that area.
Okay.
But they say we're going to go. And then they say, well, wait a minute, Halbrand still lives. And then they go see him in the hospital. And she says, okay, this wound needs elven medicine. And when the king stands up, strength to the king and strength to the Southlands. And then we switch back to the dwarves. He said, I failed. And his wife says, no, it's your father's fault. Remember, that mithril belongs to us. One day, it will all belong to us. Screw your brothers. It's you. You are the heir. And one day, we're going to dig. And I believe that's after the king closes it. Says, seal that up.
Yeah.
And I think he throws the leaf in there.
Yes, he does.
The leaf goes all the way down,
Oh,
down.
yeah. This is also another big reveal.
And what do we see? The Balrog. Because Gandalf talks about it in the first movie. He says they dug so far that they uncovered an evil.
Yeah.
So, that was a big, big reveal. And then we get to the final scene where Adar is with his children, and he's like, we can go out in the day now. We got the permanent shade over us. Life is bitching. These are our lands now. Adar, Lord of the Southlands. Nah, we need another name.
Yeah.
And that name, Lord Dick?
I don't remember.
Mordor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, Mordor. Wow.
I should take notes too, because we watched so many things. A lot of things slipped through my brain, but yeah,
Look,
you're right.
I took 4 pages of notes for this one. 4 pages of House Dragon. 2 pages for lower decks, and I think it was either 3 or 4 for Andor. It's a lot, and
Yeah.
I have to because we cover everything, and
Right.
it's really good.
Because I remember now. We shouldn't call it the Southlands anymore. We should call it Mordor because it's a whole different thing now. It's not so, and plus they have it. So
Yeah,
and yeah, so that's like one reveal after another there toward the end. So it was interesting. That was a pretty good ending for that episode.
yes. The plot has to move forward. There was something that I did not write down, and I think Bromwyn asked the question, or Galadriel was talking to Theo about, did they mean it? Are they going to return? And remember, someone said no. They're not coming back. They're not going to reinforce us. They left a company of soldiers there, which is important, but they're not coming back. I don't remember where that happened. And I tried to go over the notes, and I just did not see that. Yeah, I know I think Galadriel asked that question, but it was near the end. I don't know where that happened, and it might have been when she was talking to Helbrand, but I'm gonna have to check that out and see. So, all right, look, I think it was a good episode. We now know it's Mount Doom. We learned about the Balrog, and we see these creatures, these 3 spirits. I don't know who and what they are. We know that what do you call him? The Walker? The one I call Gandalf. What do you call him?
I call him the Stranger.
A stranger. Okay. All right.
Well,
I'm gonna.
I mean, are we sure that he's Gandalf?
No, we're not sure.
So that's why I call him the Stranger. But at first, I called him Gandalf too, and then a friend of mine said supposedly. So I thought, well, okay, maybe it is a red herring. So I'll just start calling him the Stranger until we know for sure. But because who knows who he turns out to be? Really, I mean, it could be maybe Gandalf is a red herring. That if people that are thinking that he's Gandalf, maybe he turns out to be maybe once he gets all of his facilities back, he turns out to be a completely different entity. But anyway, I just call him the Stranger for now. Gandalf sounds good to me too. That's what I thought at first.
There were 5 of them that were sent to Middle Earth. Sauron, Gandalf, Radagast, and I know there's 2 others, because we see Radagast in The Hobbit, and I don't know the names of the other 2, but Tolkien once described Gandalf as an angel incarnate, and there is a name for them. I forget. I think they're called Mayars, an immortal spirit from Valinor, but the physical body can be killed. We do know that. And I love his line in the second movie, the 2 Towers,
right?
Where they call Shadowfax, and he says, 1,000 lives of men I have lived, and now I have no time. I love that line. I mean, it's like, we're shit out of luck, dude. I gotta ride, and I love it. He says, 5 days, look to the east. And it was good, but I just love that little line that he has in that movie. He says, man, 1,000 lives of men I lived, and I don't have time. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
It was good. But yes, I believe they all called Mayars. And as I mentioned, there's 5 of them, and I don't know the names of the other ones. The race is Mayais. Oh, Mayai. So
okay. But
his weapon is Glamdrin and Naryar, the wizard staff. So let me see if I can look up Maya and see if there's the others. The wizards. There's talk that I'm not going to get into Goldberry and Tom Bombadil. I don't think they're the other ones, are they? No. But anyway, they're like angels. I cannot find the names of the others.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Did they all arrive at the same time?
I don't know. Okay. Oh, here we go. At about 1100, the Valar sent 5 Maiar to Middle-earth to help contest the evil Sauron. They had great skills of hand and mind and assumed the guise of men, seemingly old but of great vigor. Their mission was to guide elves and men by gaining trust and spreading knowledge, not by ruling them with fear and force. They were known as the Istari. That's the one I was looking for. Or wizards. And included Gandalf the Grey, Olorin or Mithrandir, later Gandalf the White, Saruman the White, Kuramor or Kuranir, he later called himself Saruman of many colors, Radagast the Brown, Awendil, and the 2 blue wizards named after the blue sea robes. They're mentioned in passing, but we just know of them. We don't know their names.
Okay.
But there were 5 of them that were sent. So yeah, folks, I didn't do anything special. I looked up Gandalf, and then I was trying to remember Ishtar, but when I saw I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is. But when I saw Ishtar, I'm like, yeah, that's what they are. They're angels.
Well, could those 3 be those angels too? But they're, because since they showed some kind of magical ability, I'm trying to figure out, because you can't place them, I can't place them, but the way they were able to.
Wow!
And I'm thinking that's why they're looking for Gandalf, because maybe those 3 didn't have either they've been there longer to recover, or they didn't land there with. I'm thinking that's what I'm thinking. That's what I thought when I first saw it. It was like, wait a minute, they have magic, so I'm thinking that maybe there are 3 of them, and we still have. So we can either it's Gandalf or whoever the stranger is. But now, and if that's true, there's still one out there that we don't know where they are. So that's my thinking. I could be wrong about it, but I don't know any other race that has that kind of ability. Do you?
No, I don't. I like that, man. I do. And I wasn't thinking of those other 3 being that, because they had similar power that he has.
And they're not, and like you said, you couldn't see the hood to see if they had any ears or not, but they don't have that kind of power either. So I'm just, anyway, that's my theory, and I'm going to stick with it until I'm proven wrong, that they are there and they are part of the angel thing that you called them, and we'll go on from there. And that's why they're looking for Gandalf, because they need to bring him into the fold.
I wonder if that was Saruman.
It could be. We won't know.
He fits the profile of being a dick.
Well, then there we go. If we go with my theory or whatever, then that's who he is. But other than that, it's just anyway.
Yeah. When we get off air, let me see. Hold on. Do you still like getting books, or do you use Kindle more often than not?
I do books, but I do Kindle too. It depends.
Okay, because there's a book that I purchased a while ago, and I got it packed up, and okay, here we go. Let me search for this one. I haven't been able to find it, but it's one of those dummies books, and it's dummies for the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
And there it is. Here we go. Let me go to the screen on this one, folks. Don't laugh, but here it is. The Origin of Tolkien's Middle Earth. Thomas got offended when I said, hey, dude, should I get you this book? And he was like, You're kidding, right? Okay, sorry. I have the copy somewhere. I don't know where it is right now. It's packed up. I have like 20 boxes. There's no way I'm going to find it, but here it is. Origin of Tolkien's Middle Earth. Off air or tomorrow, we're going to have to talk about this. And I think I'm going to have to get them again. And so
I didn't know such a book existed,
dude. Oh my God! Look, because I got to
holy
get back.
crap! That came out a long time ago. That book's almost 20 years old. Wow. Okay.
I just heard these two because I'm getting back into the topics, geology and geography. Okay.
All right.
I'm just getting back into it. There were some things that I'd forgotten, so I'm getting them again. I'm going to get the one from Middle Earth, and that's why, since you're doing this with me, I got to talk to you whether you want the paperback or the Kindle. So,
wow,
we'll see. But it's some good stuff. But anyway, folks, that's what we're doing for Reverence. We're in for the long haul. If this runs 5 years, yeah, Richard, we're going to need that. We are. So it's going to be good.
I know I guess I should have known better. There's like dummy books for everything, So I guess I could see why that would need a book like that.
Yeah. Well, in our day, we had Cliff Notes, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
This is the modern Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
All right. Look, there was some big reveals in this story. I thought it was good, but it just moved the plot forward. We had the disaster happen, and then we had the recovery. It was an okay episode. Yes, there were some reveals, but it wasn't enough for me to, take it up even higher. I just gave this one a C+. It was a decent story. It moved forward. It wasn't a misfire. It's just, this is the next step, and we just are moving forward. And that's why I gave it a C+. I don't know what you thought or what kind of score you would give it.
I'll probably give it about a C too. I mean, I guess I gave it a C because I don't know. I just gave it a C. I mean, there was some with them going against the rules and digging into the rocks. I guess we've seen that kind of stuff go on before, and there were a lot of reveals. I don't know. I might give it a C+, close to a because I mean, if those three are part of the angels or whatever, that's a big reveal, and if I'm right, well then I should give myself a higher score.
Okay.
I'm just being arrogant, but
no, you're good. Now, here's a bit of disappointment. There are only 8 episodes in this series, so the season finale is next Friday.
So we will drop one off after next week.
Yes. So I'm going to go.
We'll have to find a replacement then. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Episode 8 trailer. I don't know. Did you see the trailer for the final episode?
No, I really don't. I guess I didn't. It ends and I move on. I don't know. I'm not but anyway. Are you going to show it, or I didn't know what you were getting at?
I'm going to show it.
Okay,
right
that's
now.
cool. That's cool.
Folks, ask you to bear with us, and here we go. If you're watching this in the recording after, I do apologize because Facebook will block it out. So here we go.
Soon, you will understand the power of the unseen one.
Evil does not sleep. It waits.
There's far more at stake here than just our lives.
Fight with me.
For all Middle Earth, you have lost, and it shall return. What are you? I am no god. At least, not yet.
You will be known at last for who you truly are. For you are Lord Sauron. If Sauron has returned,
And the Southlands are in grave danger.
the Southlands are but the beginning. In the end, this shadow is but a small and passing thing.
It feels like the coming of night.
Soon the sun will set. Do your part. You shall see it rise again.
Elves and dwarves working together. Aye, and that's how it starts. We stay true to each other.
This will be a reminder of our strength. Heroes amongst us even now, waiting to burst forth.
No.
I will serve.
Yet tonight, one more trial awaits us.
I did not cross that bitter ocean, only to drown now.
We are on the cusp of crafting a new kind of power.
The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, now streaming only on Prime Video.
Wow.
Not bad, huh?
No. That it looks like it may end on a high note. I mean, you know what I mean. There might be some bad things going on, but you know what I mean by high note. I mean,
Yeah, I do. And I only saw that preview earlier too. So this one was released probably last night before, or right after when the episode was released on Friday. So it was on Friday, not yesterday or the day before. So it's got my attention. I'm in, and I'm all right, man. I know a lot of people are not liking it, but the numbers are in, folks. It looks like if the numbers are true, over 98 million Amazon users have tuned in to look at the Rings of Power.
right? Really? I okay. So you don't think those are
people?
Yeah. So you don't think that's an exaggeration or a
I don't know.
or a manipulation? They've been accused of manipulation. So I don't know if I don't know if that's even true. I know that everybody who knows with the way people on social media troll and talk and all that kind of crap. So who really knows? I mean, is that Nelson numbers? Because we can probably kind of trust those.
We talked about that last week.
We did.
Numbers, yes. And Nielsen gave us some numbers that it was almost 4-1 over Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. So
you're saying, they're saying that Rings of Power is more popular than House of Dragon? But it's also, isn't that kind of inflated since there's probably more Amazon subscribers?
Bingo. We talked about that.
But I thought I'd bring it up again so that people that at first didn't hear it last week will kind of get a gist of what could be the problem. It's not like the old days with like 3 or 4 networks, and we knew that Nielsen had everything to work from. Now they have to worry about subscribers and who has the most, and since Prime Video is part of your Prime membership, well, that kind of skews the numbers because it's kind of included with your Prime if you've got Amazon, if you're an Amazon fan.
And I do, and Lord Dick does, as does Michael, and DREEM as well.
I think we all get it. I think we all got it in the beginning for the free shipping, and that way we don't have to get the 35 or whatever it was to get free shipping. That way, if we say, I just need this one thing, So anyway, that's going off track a little bit.
Oh, no, not at all. No, we're good, man. And look, and following up on that, can the numbers be skewed? I mean, come on. Let's be real. But I do want to say this, that we do know that Amazon shut down IMDb comment section, and I forget what else they shut down because of the vitriol that was being posted. And if that is a marker, a lot of people tuned in to watch the first episode to rip it. That we know.
Yeah, that happens. And that's the problem with part of the social, all this social. I mean, everybody having access like that. I mean, if people had this kind of access back in the day, they would do it then too. I mean, they would have attacked something on NBC if we had this kind of outlet, but we didn't. So all we could do was go to school and try and rip it in front of people. But now everybody has this mass audience and they can just say what they want, saying, "Oh yeah, this thing, blah 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 blah," and then it just, and that's all all they're doing is just, they're just slamming it, they're trolling it, right? So I guess that's the term, right? They're trolling it and they're flooding it and then you have to shut it down and try to get back to normal and try to get back on track. But I mean, yeah, does it have problems? Yes, because it does have problems. I agree. I mean, some of the stuff I've read, some of the things that I've watched, it does have problems, but it's still watchable. I mean, I wish there was better script writing, like I've talked about and Jesse has talked about. I know it's not here, but we've both brought up that there could be better dialogue, like the dialogue that we get in House of Dragon. So, I mean, there's some good writing in House of Dragon, but I guess real quick, the money that Amazon is spending, you should expect better, right? I mean, they're spending a lot of money, so there should be. I mean, the armor should look like armor. I'm just saying, with that kind of money, you expect more. It's not like it's a low budget thing on FX back in the day when they used all the cheap FX, the cheap CGI, but it kind of looked good on TV. Things have changed, and they're spending, like you said, millions and millions of, hundreds of millions of dollars on this, and I guess you expect a little bit better. And maybe they can save themselves next season. I mean, maybe they will take some of the criticism to heart. I mean, not all of the criticism is trolling. Some of it could be true. So we'll see next season if they can build on this and go from there. What do you think, Raj? Or Lord Roger? Yeah, Lord Roger.
It's all good.
Of Monte Cristo.
Right now, in 2017, Amazon Studios purchased the rights to J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings for a staggering $250 million. I said $350. I was wrong. Since then, the company has moved forward on the upcoming series. They're estimating that the average season is costing 100 to 150 million. So, if we look at what everyone is talking about, where is 250 million plus 100 million for 5 seasons, there's the 750 that everyone's talking about. But if they're spending more, 150 each, wow, that is $1 billion for 5 seasons. That's crazy. And we know that someone else just purchased the other eras, which I believe it was the first era and the third era. So we're going to have Lord of the Rings into the future. Right now, Amazon has the second age, and they're looking to go 5 years. We'll see.
Are they already at these things in production, or is this just rumors?
In production.
I mean the other things that they purchased. I don't mean.
I know someone else just purchased it within the last 2 months. Okay, here we go. Embracer reveals how much it paid for the Lord of the Rings rights and the new video game companies. Swedish firm Embracer announced a number of new acquisitions this week, which included blah, 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 Middle-earth Enterprises, the film and television rights to the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit in the process. Price for the latest round of acquisitions came out to $770 million, but they included Limited Run Games, Singtrix, Tuxedo Labs, Tripwire Interactive, and Middle-earth Enterprises. So, they did not mention how much was spent for Lord of the Rings. They just said they spent $770 million on all those things recently, and this was on August 18th.
What? Another thing that I heard was Netflix also offered, well, I don't think also, but they offered $250 million, but they wanted to do it in the way of the Marvel multiverse, and the Tolkien estate did not like that.
Oh.
So I don't know if they were going to make multiple series that all connected or movies, but that's how Netflix wanted to run it. And the Tolkien estate was pretty nervous about that. So I guess, but I know that they did make an offer. So anyway, that was, I don't know if that's true or not, but I did read it somewhere, and I'm not going to, I have not been able to verify it. I'm not even going to, but it could be right. I mean, who knows? Netflix probably did make an offer, but I don't know if they wanted to make it into a Marvel type of deal, a Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wow. That's crazy.
But anyway, that was, I just thought I'd throw that in since we were talking about people buying stuff or trying to.
The reason why Amazon, and this is an article that's several years old now, the Second Age spans 3,441 years after the banishment of the Dark Lord Morgoth and ends with the first demise of Sauron, Morgoth's servant and primary villain in The Lord of the Rings, at the hands of an alliance of elves and men. Shipley said that Amazon has a relatively free hand to add details since Tolkien did not flesh out every detail of the Second Age in his appendices or the unfinished tales. So you have to tread carefully, they say, but as long as they don't destroy the universe, they can. Dude, it's not that big of a deal. Just stay within the history. It's not that big of a deal, man. So it was a Swedish gaming giant that bought everything else, the First Age and the Third Age, which is the Lord of the Rings.
Huh. Okay.
So a lot of stuff going on. Wow. All right. It's pretty good. Thank goodness I don't have to go into work tomorrow. I have a holiday, so I'm really happy about that. So
I mean, if you did, we would have waited till next week to cover the other part.
We're just covering a lot of material, man.
Well, we got a lot of shows to do in one night. So I mean, at least that's how it's being done. You're doing it now is like, okay, right after or shortly after House of Dragon, we're going to cover we're going to cover five series.
Yeah, we'll see what we're going to do, but I'm really happy. This is 8 weeks that we've been doing this, which is really fun, and it's really, really good.
I think I've been here for the last 3, and I'm having a good time.
You've been here at least for 6 out of 8.
Well, then I'm still having a good time. I must be having a good time if I've been here 6 out of the 8.
There was only one where I was alone, and I think that was the week of the Andor premiere.
Oh, that must have been. But anyway.
Yeah. Oh no, it sucked.
Well, yeah, I know. Being by yourself is not really that awesome, especially because you really can't. Anyway, it doesn't matter unless you got a lot of people in the chat room asking you questions or trying to discuss things with you, and you can kind of play off of that.
And I had people in the chat room, but it still didn't. Yeah.
Well, I know. Yeah, I get it. I'm not. Yeah, I get it. But anyway, right now you're averaging 4 with with Jesse joining us, which is I think is awesome that he joins us. I
Dude,
mean,
it was so funny. He was not happy. He really was not happy. He thought it was the final episode, like you did too. That was
because it's like, okay, we're done. Because I
didn't suck.
I didn't stick around. I mean, I keep watching Netflix. I'm not used to there being trailers afterwards. You know, you watch your episode on Netflix, they don't give you a trailer. It just counts down from 4 and you move on to the next one without a trailer. You know what I mean? Well, you have Netflix, you know what I mean. And other people do too. So to me, I associate those kind of things with old network television where, you know, you after the episode, next week, join us for blah, blah, and they show this stuff. But anyway, that was a long time ago. Now they just, because now networks just go from one show into another. So you don't have the time to switch that station or whatever you do these days.
Because there's a lot of commercials.
Yeah. Crazy. But anyway.
All right. Well, folks, we got a lot done today. Really excited about it. Next week, episode 9 for Game of Thrones and the House of the Dragon. We'll be doing Lower Decks, episode 8. We'll be doing Andor, episode 6. And we'll probably be doing the finale for the Rings of Power. Who knows? Depending on what happens, maybe we'll do it Friday night. I don't know. We'll have to talk to Lord Dick for the Rings of Power. We'll see. Because these episodes do go super long when we cover all 4 programs. And we'll see. But beyond that, hey, we're good. Anything else you want to talk about, Lord Dick?
I think we've covered everything for tonight. We've been on for several hours, so...
Yeah, we're entering our 4th hour. We're 3 hours, 7 minutes.
A long show. I mean, we enjoy talking about it, but I don't know if people have time to listen to us run on for 4 hours.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So
well, I guess it's something to listen to in the background. You don't really got to look at our faces for 4 hours, which is lucky. You don't really want to do that. You might lose your sight.
Yeah, that's why the radio was really good. But
yeah. It's not like we're like we have show and tell.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, beyond that, folks, want to thank you. Everything is good. And oh wow. The book, it may be on sale. The Middle Earth for Dummies.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there might be a sale. I'll have to check it out. But all right, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. For now, folks, want to thank you everyone. Thank you for spending your time with us and hope you enjoyed it. And we did. We're having a lot of fun covering these series. And if you have any suggestions on any series that we should cover, let us know. We'll be looking forward to it. And we may be on Sunday night now. I don't know. It's a heavy commitment for me from January through April. Friday evenings are the only time I get to rest. But if I'm with everyone doing stuff like this, it makes it easy. It's a lot of fun. So if you have any suggestions, let us know. And just bear with us. But for now, Valerie, thank you for spending time with us. Hope, thank you as well. Chat69, thank you. And of course, Ines, we missed you on this one. But hopefully we can have you back next week. All right. But for everyone else, for Lord Michael, and of course, Lord Dick, thank you. And Lord Jesse, appreciate it. I guess we'll see you guys on the other side. All right. Peace.